Thursday Night Live Fly Tying, Season 5, Episode 9. Dave's Hopper and the Lefty's Deceiver. Let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to cast your lines into a world of excitement and adventure with Thursday Night Live Fly Tying, the ultimate fly fishing show that's sure to leave you hooked.
Now in its 5th season, they have 17 brand new episodes lined up that will take you on a journey through the world of fly fishing and fly tying. Each episode is hosted by the dynamic duo of Tim and Dana, who will teach you how to tie 2 different fly patterns as well as share tips and tricks to help you become a better angler.
But that's not all. Thursday Night Live Fly Tying is an eclectic event where anything can happen. Halfway through each show, they play Fly and Go, a unique twist on the classic game of bingo. The winner of Fly and Go has a chance to face the wizard in the doors of doom. Choose the right door and you get to keep all the prizes. Choose the wrong door and the wizard will steal all your winnings.
And if that's not enough excitement for you, we also have the baking camp, showcasing mouth-watering desserts that are sure to satisfy your sweet tooth.
But we're not just about fun and games. At the end of each episode, we have a segment called What's Your Win?, where the TNL family shares their positive experiences from the week. Tim and Dana will keep reminding you to love people and catch fish. Only quality people need apply.
So join us every Thursday night at 7 on Facebook and YouTube Live for Thursday Night Live Fly Tying and experience the thrill of fly tying like never before.
What's up? What's up?
Good.
Ooh,
Beautiful
good?
people.
Oh, there's much.
What's
that's good.
happening, Tim Hepworth?
Not much. What's happening, Mr. Dana Lowry?
Well, I would love to tell you that we didn't
we didn't what?
we didn't make it.
We didn't make it. Oh no.
No.
Did you hear back from the?
No, the producer. He said to me, "I really think you guys have something going on here."
Is it a niche market?
The phone cut out after that.
Oh, maybe he hung up.
No, I think he's gonna call me back. I got my phone on tonight because
know.
I think he's gonna call me back.
Oh,
He did say like I got Justin Bieber on the other line.
so yeah, it's hard to compete with the Biebs.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's hard to compete. I think I think he's gonna call me back.
Oh, probably he was.
I mean,
definitely.
seriously, I sent him the live video. And ultimately, what I think I sent him that he would love to see, and I know some people here in Thursday Night Live were asking for it, but this is gonna be part of this week's giveaway.
Okay.
You told me to go easy on the giveaways,
I know.
but
Can't.
yeah. So that right there isn't focusing. We're gonna put that in Tim's camera. So, anyways, welcome to another episode 9. See that, guys, is you notice the signatures on there?
Signatures.
See, that's what we're talking about. Last week, the Bearded Nipple came in hot and heavy, and they released, us, we released our first single, and then we went outside of our genre, and we went into the Rapalooty.
We did, a little
It's
R&B.
not rap, it's Rapalooty.
Yeah, okay.
It's different, it's new, it's what's trending, it's mid. So what the kids are telling me was that was
which
not
kids?
mid.
Where were they?
I don't know. The agent is going to call me back too. Anyways,
was
folks,
the agent a kid? That's the question.
Tim, these are details I can't answer you because what I'm excited about this week is from our friends over at Fallen. It still won't focus.
It's okay. I'll show them.
Anyways, friends over at Fallen Timber and our really good friend up in Edmonton, Mr. Chas,
Honey
has
colada.
got us onto the honey colada from Fallen Timber Meadery, which they don't sponsor the show. They don't even give us free drinks. They don't even know we exist, but
They
we
don't even know we
still
exist, yeah.
love their drinks.
We do.
And so if you haven't tried them, try one.
Yep.
Mojitos are next on docket because we've
Yep.
already been slamming some of these. Sipping on them,
Slamming and sipping are two different things.
on a little bit of
We were
Grandpa's
enjoying-
cough medicine.
Yeah, well,
So you know what we
it's a
haven't
cardigan.
done yet because it's Thursday and we're gonna tie some flies, right? What are we gonna tie tonight?
oh, we got a couple of good ones today. We got the Dave's Hopper. So if you guys want to challenge, stick
Wow,
around.
you guys are gonna get your.
It's a hopper pattern, believe it or not. It's like, what was it crossed with?
You're gonna get
Yeah,
whooped.
Whooped. Yeah. And then something a little bit more our speed.
Conventionally
Deceiver.
unconventional because
Yeah.
we're trying to do this with what we call synthetic materials.
Yeah.
Right? Just the twist. I know the bucktail is what's called for, but we do want to get you guys to do something first. But we'll go over that in the news screen.
News.
But this screen is about you guys. So let's say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And we'll start at the top. Where's my scroller?
Oh, scroll it back up.
All right.
Oh, Mike
Mr.
McKenna. First one on the docket today. What's up, Mike?
Eli. Dean Leonardis from Red Deer.
Yeah.
Chas. Fly Fisher 54 from, I believe, down in the Brooks, Dutchess area.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor McPhee's up in Whitecourt. Welcome, Trevor.
Welcome.
Kenneth Geeman from Guelph, Ontario. I believe that sounds like a new name.
Yeah, I don't.
Round
haven't
of
heard that one.
clicks. A round of clicks for
Clicks.
Kenneth. Welcome to the show. We're so glad you're here. Do stick around. We do tie flies, and we do give away a lot of things, so
We do that, too.
that's pretty cool, too. Shelly Ellenson from up in Edmonton.
What's up, Shelley?
Good old faithful there. Mr. Jones down in
Jones.
Calgary. Mr. John Miller, the wizard beater.
The Wizard Beater. Twice in a row.
Yeah. From Texas. Cole Clayton, I think he's texting that from his bed.
It could be a yodel.
Little lady.
Yeah.
Who brought your computer to you, Cole? In the thing. Bailu finally gets in live. And
What's
that's what
up?
matters.
What's
And
up,
Mr.
dude?
Branter from out west and Sundry. Adrian from Calgary. John Onorati from the New
Like-
Jersey area.
It's appreciating your editing skills on that intro, which is very impressive.
Oh, it tells you he hasn't watched the show for a long time.
John, come on, bro. Where you
Mr.
been?
Bruce Cole, welcome back.
What's
Mr.
up?
Pape from down in the Americas. What's up?
Americas.
It is March 2nd, and here we go. Edmonton
Yeah,
Strong representing Chaz is Mr. Krapf. It's like, I wonder if he was born in Banff,
Who?
Mr. Jeff Krapf.
Crap. Why do you think that?
Well, it's just double consonants, like kind of a thing.
Banff.
Banff.
Go to Banff.
Mr. Beatty, what's happening? Marvin down in Calgary. What's happening, good friend Cam? Hey, yo. There we go. Finally, Fly Trout made a comment. Mr.
course.
Dickow
Dickow.
down at the fly shop. The mayor.
The mayor.
of TNLville.
From
Mr.
Mexico, Terry.
Barry
You're lying.
Dickow.
Not really. Where are you at? You're
Glad
Red
to
Deer.
be back. He's back from
Oh,
Mexico.
back
not
from
really.
Mexico. I
He's
thought you
not
were
really
there.
glad to be back, but he's back.
He's back.
Yeah, so just give a round of shout out to the mayor of TNLville and Mr. Tracy from out east, Ken Hall from Calgary, Eric Van Fleet, what's happening? Good friend, Kenny B from all the way down in the land of the. Give me your best Australian accent. Throw another
might
shrimp
I?
on the bobby.
Throw another shrimp on the shrimp on the bobby.
They do have ours down there, Tim. And,
I was trying to roll them.
As always, Eric's guessing away.
Yeah.
So what really helps, and if you want to help support the show, share this. Share this feed to your page. Share it to your favorite fly fishing page, and write something in there like, "I'm not going to win tonight." Okay?
Something like that.
Give us a like, thumbs up, a heart, whatever you feel like you want to do. And if this isn't for you, well, we're glad you came. And unfortunate, you're going to miss out on a lot of really cool things today. Mr. Frankie, down in Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. Scooter's back. It is so freaking good to see him.
What's up, Scooter?
He's hanging around. Thursday Night Fly Time. Let's go.
Mr. Clint Workington in the house as well.
Yeah.
Mr. Ritzko. Adrian Tebow with us.
All the old classics are in here today.
Yeah, you're right, Tim.
Whoa, why am I the only one?
Because it's better when you're better.
When I'm
down where it's wetter.
Where there's a
under
shrimp
the sea.
on the bobby.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
All right. See, I control these things.
Oh, man.
Never shaving the bearded nipple. Can't do.
Yeah. Who said that? George. Calgary.
Roger.
Fly trout. Roger said,
shave the bearded nipple.
oh, shave. You can never shave. Jose from down in Pincher Creek. What's happening,
What's
good
up?
friend? Welcome. Glad you're here. We're giving away some things that Alberta Fly Girl has sent us today. Well, Sleeman's Honey Brown for the Dickow, the mayor.
Zimmer.
The mayor. Kate Bessler. What's happening, girl? Terry Sanguins. Terry and Jake are here from Montana. Welcome,
What's up, Terry?
Jake and Terry.
We got Jacques. in
Vote
the
on
house.
if the
Look at
wizard
this.
won last week or not. Adrian thinks this is a democracy. Well,
Dictatorship for
you
sure.
quickly will succumb to Mr. Jacques Roux in the house.
What's
We're
up,
glad to
Jacques?
have him. If you don't know who he is, one of the most famous Atlantic salmon fly tyers, and I believe he's got a couple books out with all of his tines. And an incredible human. Got to spend time with him down on the Rusty Goosh and the Miramichi.
One day. Rusty
One day
Goose.
we'll be back to the lodge, the food. I really just think about the food.
The food, yeah.
The fiddleheads, the salmon.
What's a fiddlehead?
What's a fiddlehead? Well, it's funny you should ask. Maybe Jacques can tell you.
Yeah, Jacques.
What is a fiddlehead? It is a dream come true, and
Is it
then they put it on your plate and you eat it.
Ah,
I believe they grow on the roadside. It's kind of like
is it a pastry?
no, it's a vegetable,
Vegetable. Huh. Okay. All right.
but pairs well with It pairs well with pears.
Everything.
I mean, anything you can put with it. There's a solid 30-second lag between Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, it's a good point because YouTube appears to be faster. So if you want to get in on the quickness of the show, Maddie
on over to
Mosher, Howie9882. What's up? The real Jen Lyle on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who that is. That's
The real
yeah,
Jen Lyle.
that's who I was like, man, let's ban this person.
Yeah. Can you be the real Jen Lyle if you're on
Yeah, Cole said one knee is a touch sore,
YouTube?
and I think he's in a river in Egypt right now.
Rodrigo.
All right. So
What's up?
let's head on over to the news scene and check out what Rocky Mountain Fly Shop's got for you tonight.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
For
Something
deals. Good things. We got some announcements to make, and all the good things that you came to the show for. But first and foremost,
They're here for us, obviously. And the breaking news scene. Oh,
what's this, Tim? Tell me.
New tunes? New tunes? Oh, what? Your flamingo is void?
Well, this one is.
People can't steal us. It's important, guys, if you want to play along with our bingo, which we call Flamingo, during the halftime, you need to go over to the website you see there and grab yourself a Flamingo card because you're going to need one to play
Yes,
along.
you're going to need, and it's free. It is
it's free.
100% free.
Yep.
Feel free to go grab one because you're going to need one when we jump into the bingo, which is like the halftime show. And that's kind of how that works. So your card's going to look somewhat like that. Mayor Dickow, look, he's in there. There, the cow on top left of the flamingo.
Oh, there he is. Look at that.
Scotty Borschelt says a baby fern that grows in the wetlands, and that's what a fiddlehead is.
A
And
baby
Tim, when
fern.
we go out there and catch our first salmon together,
Yes.
we're gonna eat fiddleheads. You're on one end, I'm on the other. It's like Lady and the Tramp.
Oh,
with
we're
the
just gonna eat
spaghetti.
them towards each other.
We're not.
It's stop at an appropriate
Suck that
distance. but-
fiddlehead.
Interesting.
Oh.
Okay, I wouldn't think that a baby fern would be good, but okay.
What does it cost to get in on Flamingo?
No. Well, it's free. It's absolutely free.
It's always free. Every single time.
Every single time you play Flamingo with us, it's F-R-E-E.
F. It stands for free. What? What are you pointing at me for?
Because it's free.
Oh, it's still free. Oh, you have it there.
Well,
That's free.
Good. It's good. It's free. Of course, it's free.
Goes well with moose steak or Atlantic salmon, and that's what Jacques.
Man, we got it. We
Jacques,
definitely gotta
are
try
you
that.
still at Larry's Gulch? Because I feel
Is it
a
time?
need for speed.
Need for speed? I don't have much of a mustache right now.
Okay, so now you guys have got your bingo cards, right? You've gone over to the website, you've checked it out. TNL has 5. It's scrolling along the bottom. Every single where on the news feed is info on how to get your bingo flyingo cards.
Yes.
And up next
Up next.
is the news announcements.
Oh, it's a good part. I just love this news scene. It's like my favorite scene.
I know,
honestly.
it makes me so happy, Tim. We've already talked about the flies, but the first one that we're going to talk is the Dave's Hopper.
Dave's Hopper.
Did you know that the Dave's Hopper
Yes, go on.
is a conglomeration of 2 patterns? Don't tell. And I know people are going to be hot on the Google, but enter in the comments if you know which 2 patterns go together to make up the Dave's Hopper.
Why don't you just try to not cheat and just use your imagination? Take a look at that fly. See what you think it is.
See, Jeff wants to know why he had to enter his credit card number to get my Flingo card. Don't worry about it. Just verifying your age.
Yeah. We won't charge you for the Flamingo card.
Yeah, the Flingo card's free. It's the prizes are expensive.
Yeah. Oh, man.
There's fiddleheads in Alberta too.
No way.
Keith,
Really,
go
Keith?
home. He's
Come on.
drunk. You're in Sundry. You're drunk.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, what we need you to do, because in the package for the Deceiver, if you guys can open up your packages and kind of get your
yes.
McKeels ready.
Yes.
The Muddler Minnow. That's Adrian's got one right.
Yeah, that's one.
Remember, so we tried something this time with the Lefty's Deceiver. We went a little bit off the pattern, which is bucktail. And we're trying more things with synthetic materials. Okay, so where we screwed up, because we do, and we do.
We're honest about it.
Do
What
screw it up.
happens?
Is that in the packaging's material, it got, packaged and it has some memory. Synthetic material has memory. Fancy that. But what we found is that a great way to get the memory out of this synthetic fiber, if you have a kettle, just boil your kettle and get some steam on it, and then it just comes out. It's really easy to do. What you don't do is what?
Well, you don't put it in a hair straightener. We learned that.
A flat iron, yeah.
Flat iron, yeah. So the deal with it is being the synthetic material, it just needs a little bit of that steam, and it's going to take the memory out. It's going to go right back to straight, because we had to roll it to get it in your packaging. So lesson learned, but it worked perfect when we did it. We steamed it out, and we were able to tie with it. So yeah, just give it a go. It'll make your life a lot easier, because otherwise it's got a curled shape to it, and it won't look quite right. So probably in the water it still would, but yeah. Scooters said he's got an error. Let me know if anyone else has an error. Probably because if you've already used that email, it's like, hey, we've already sent you one. So it's the same card as last week, and it will look like the one we just put up there with the American flag on it. And we change them every 3 or 4 weeks. But that's how she goes. It must be all the natural. I can't remember. So there's no kettle here in Texas. So you'll still be able to tie it. It's just it'll just kind of hold its memory, and it really doesn't matter, because as soon as you put it in the water, it's gone.
But we did find that having a little bit of a kettle, that steam just took out the memory. So it's why we're trying to mitigate this problem right now before we go any further.
Before we start tying
the show.
Eric just dipped it in ramen juice. I don't know if he's talking about his material or his baby ferns, but either or, I guess.
Or something else.
Yeah.
Anyways, dip it, and that's how she goes. So we're just kind of clarifying with the Lefty's Deceiver. Traditionally tied with bucktail. We're trying synthetic materials tonight on this fly, and it actually turns out super awesome. And there's a little bit of flash in that material. So all things to be considered to make this epic. Colleen, don't put it in the microwave, especially for 45 minutes with your resina.
Yeah, not with your resin. That'll wreck it.
Yeah. All right, so that's great. Now that we've got that down the hatch, well, we want to tell you guys about a few other things on the docket, and one of the coolest things is coming up on March 25th.
Yes, you're not going to want to miss out, because this isn't just a regular IF4 showing.
This is a what?
This is a true festival. We're going to try to make pretty much a full day event out of it. Kind of the best part about this is the proximity of Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, the theater, and then also Trax Pub, where we're going to be afterwards. All these three places are within very easy walking distance, and so we can be together at the fly shop before and after the show, and then over to the bar.
Head over to Trax after and
have some food and
get to know each other. But what's really cool, Tim, is how are they going to win prizes at IF4?
Well, why don't you tell us?
You don't know, that's why.
No, you're supposed to play along. Like I was being confident.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like I definitely know, but I prefer if you tell them.
At IF4, as you come in, you're going to get a bingo card. Oh my goodness. And it's what?
I didn't know this.
Free.
Know. Is it free?
It's totally free.
Man, can you imagine that?
Yeah, have a ticket. What also works, it won't focus, but Captain Clutch stickers will work at IF4. So, I don't know.
Are you bringing the wizard to IF4? You wouldn't be that cruel.
Didn't buy a costume or anything.
Definitely not two of them.
Definitely didn't.
Oh, man, I can't believe you're going to be that cruel.
So anyways, you come play for free, hang out with us, drink a beer, watch IF4, and shop at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. Get to see their new big shop. All within, you could probably cast a fly line to each of them.
Oh, I could, but you might not be able to. Is it a 4-weight or a 10?
That was a bad moment.
Yeah,
and the wizard, see, McKenna wants to know, the wizard will be there.
Well, bring your A game, I guess.
I wish some of these guys could come up for that weekend from Americas.
Well, I should just do it, commit.
Yeah, and if you go to the Pomeroy in Olds and you enter code RMFS, you get the Rocky Mountain Fly Shop discount. And gosh, is that a good time? Super good. But you know what's a better time? A month after this?
Well, that must be
Guide School.
Guide School?
Yes,
Western
100%.
Canadian Fly Fishing Guide School.
That, my friends, is starting to fill up, and that's getting exciting because that's happening May 5th to 7th, 12th to 14th, 6 days together with a bunch of super awesome people, all getting better at being people, fishermen, fisher people, guides, rowing the boat safely, river knowledge, fishing knowledge. A lot of people in here have gone to that and they can attest to that. So
they can.
If you're sitting on the fence, do jump off. Give me a call.
On the right side, but yeah.
Yeah. And watch out for that barbed wire because that
she grabs
stings. But you know what else is free, Tim? And even more epic than all of these things combined, because it's 100% free.
So the other stuff was just like 98%, or?
Well, there's Guide School is not free.
Well, that's true. That's not.
IF4 is not free. It's $20.
Yeah, that's still reasonable.
Okay, but this, my friend, is 100% free, and you've heard it here first. This is 100% free.
For free.
Is it? Free! Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Absolutely free.
Fly
What is this?
Fishing Lessons Day. On
Wow.
April 22nd, Rock Mountain Fly Shop.
And fly fishing Bow River Outfitters.
Yeah.
So if you ever wanted to take a fly fishing lesson for free,
Wait a minute. It's for free?
free, $0.
You're crazy.
You don't have to even bring your wallet.
I can't
But
even
you're
believe
going to
that.
want to bring your wallet.
Well, yeah. Why?
Well, because you're going to get hungry and thirsty, and
I always like to eat some nuts.
might need gas to get home. But as far as the lessons go, it's free.
That is incredible.
For real, though, that's incredible.
Take it serious. It's free.
That's nuts.
We're working on the logistics, and what I mean by that is how many people that we can hold through that day. So it's free. It's 100% free. Gonna be clear, it's probably not geared. I haven't talked to Josie to see what she's up to, but for us, it's probably orientated for more like teenage up. Okay, our expertise is not with the children, but it's gonna be a legit fly fishing lesson. So we charge $150 per person for a 2 to 3 hour lesson, and the minimum groups are 3. So if you bring your buddies, you're $300, $450 for a lesson with your 3 people. This is free. This is the exact same lesson that we give in the paid lesson. But what we realized is that let's just keep going for free. Let's keep giving back to the community. Get you guys back up. It'll be about a month after IF4. So if you don't get a chance to come to IF4, you're going to want to come to this free, totally free fly fishing lesson. It's going to be restricted to a certain amount of people because obviously we can't take everybody, but it'll be a first come, first serve. And then we'll let you know the schedule. It's gonna kind of look like this. You start at the shop, you go through your basics in the shop about fly fishing. What is it? How to do it? A little bit of entomology, some knot tying stuff. And then we're gonna go over to the field and we're gonna work on our casting. So even if you think you're great, come on down. Maybe you'll learn a little bit or not. Or bring a friend who maybe they couldn't afford to get into fly fishing. And let's just do this. Us, you, Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. Bunch of our guides here, if they're watching, you've been voluntold, and Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, and then that's how we do it. I can learn how to fly fish. Mike can't.
Mike. Yeah, buddy. You want to spruce
come?
Up? No, you don't need to, but I mean,
no,
you
he should, so that his trip's better this summer.
It'll be awesome.
Chaz will be there with free hugs. He'll guarantee you cracked ribs. Adrian, count me in. Ritzko's got his tickets. What license do I need? I don't know what he meant. I'm only 12. So yeah, anyways, does the course involve catching fish? Well, catching fish is a byproduct of knowing how to fish and listening to your guide.
Touche.
All right, so get your threads ready. We're almost ready to crack-a-lacka on these flies because I think that's almost all we have for announcements. Almost.
Something tells me
I
knew it.
4 announcements.
Oh, man. Okay. Well.
See, this is why the wizard can exist, because good people like Colin exist.
And bad
It's
people
yin
need to
and
take
yang.
things away from them.
It's yin and yang.
Yin and
it's
yang.
literally the way the whole world works. It's the good and the bad. But yeah, Colin said to me, hey, guys, I'm feeling grateful again for the TNL fam. And this is where it's crazy, Tim, because I know. So there's a 20% code, a 30% code, and a 40% code.
Jeez. That's nuts.
But what's even more nuts is that this 20% code.
Yes.
I'm going to drop it right now.
No, do it.
Okay, I'm going to drop it.
You're going to tell me something crazy about it. Let me guess.
Everyone can use it. And it's good
for
all fly tying materials, all the fly tying tools, and the vices.
Where else do you get 20% off a Norvise?
Yeah, right tonight you do. An auto bob and you want some shore scissors, 20% off.
Jeez.
You want to go buy a Thursday Night Live fly tying kit? I'm not sure if he has that on the discount, but Colin, you better put it on. It's 20% off of a Thursday Night Live fly tying kit. Whatever you want. Fly tying tools, materials, vices, it's 20% off. So I don't know, load up your cart because this one's good for everyone, and it's good until 11:30 p.m. tonight. And then as the show goes, we're going to drop the 30% discount code, and then we're going to drop the 40% discount code after we're done the Lefty's Deceiver.
Well, I doubt that's going to be for everyone, so you might want to take advantage of the 20%. Don't be greedy. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay.
That's all I can say for now.
What more do we need to say?
Head back and tie some flies.
Have to tie some flies. It ain't all that bad, folks. Okay, I'm gonna ditch this mic. Oh, I ditched the mic. There we go. Screw up my lighting there. Okay, guys. Well, let us get on to our first fly. We are gonna do Dave's hopper. Okay. Now, I'm going to be straight up with you. This fly has
Tim,
has
what
some,
can happen if they need us to slow down? Because this one
yes,
might
this
need
might
a
need it.
little bit of this.
It's really simple. You just write in the comment SOS. We will take a moment to answer your question or give you a second to catch up. We can always BS about something else. So just let us know if you need us to take a second so you can catch up or ask away, and we will try to answer the questions for you at any time. Okay? Now, we do kind of move through this at a reasonable pace, and we can get away with that because we also have already recorded this for you and put it over onto YouTube and our quick tie. So if you need to watch this again later, you do have another opportunity to do that.
And do encourage you to watch it again later, because in your kits you have what?
Well, you've got enough times to tie this a few times, up to possibly 5. We have enough hardware for 5 if you can get your material to go that far. Depends on how much you're using. Changes from person to person, but yeah, like we kind of talked about this pattern before. It is a hopper pattern. It probably doesn't look like many hoppers that you've ever fished, but it's a good combination of a couple flies. Now, I'm not sure if we got to this. We got one right. We got the Muddler Minnow. Well, what else do we have, Dana? What's our second?
Well, the conglomeration of the 2 flies is the Muddler Minnow, which is the head and similar to the turkey on the back.
Yep.
But a Joe's Hopper is the original of this. And the Joe's Hopper and the Muddler Minnow come together and form the Dave's Hopper. So,
yeah.
Cool. But if you check out the Joe's Hopper, it's so interesting with the Michigan dry skunk and the Sable dry skunk. It's how we did the variations, and that's similar to what the Joe's Hopper is, which I'm going to put in the bank for next year.
Yeah.
Because it just has a hackle head, just like the Sable. So cool things when you come to Thursday Night Live Fly Time. You learn stuff like that.
Get to learn new and different stuff. So we actually do have quite a few materials that we're going to be putting into this fly. A whole range from hackle to yarn to turkey flats, which is something we don't work with very often. So that's kind of fun. We got some deer hair. We got deer hair patch we're going to be using. Tons of stuff. But let's just take it a step at a time. We'll get working on it, and I think you will be all right. I'm going to be tying with some UTC 140. Okay, so just a little bit heavier material or a little heavier thread because I will be working with deer hair at the end. I mean, literally at the end of this, we're basically building a Bow River bugger head after we built the hopper. So it's a little bit of work, but hang out with me. We'll get it done. So I'm going to start my thread about a third of the way back. So if I take a third of the hook shank, and that's kind of an important measurement because we are going to be basically building a head in that front third. And I'm going to take my thread wraps basically back to the bend of the hook. Just got to find all my scissors here. There's the ones I was looking for. And we'll trim out that tag. And the first material we're going to put in here is we're actually going to be building a tail. And we're going to be using this yellow saddle hackle. Okay? So what we're going to do is we don't want this fluffy stuff at the bottom. Okay, that's not the tips that we want. But we're going to grab a good chunk, like a healthy, probably 15, 20 fibers. I'm just going to grab like that much, pull them off. Okay, and then I'm going to try to stack them so their tips are pretty close to aligned. I want a decent chunk of material for this tail portion.
Ron's not feeling well, so Ron's got to go. Ron, you take care of yourself. And I believe it's Joe Manchinton's birthday today. I don't know if he's in here, but if he is in here, we're going to have to jam down with some birthday songs.
Let us know if you're here. Definitely.
Or let us know if it's your birthday. We have something for you.
Always. We don't get to do our birthday song often enough. Okay, so there you have it. I have my the fibers off of that feather. Now I'm going to measure, again, about a third of the overall hook shank is what's going to be hanging off the back. Okay, so it's just a rough measurement, not super crucial. Just don't want it to be crazy long. I'm going to switch over hands. I'm going to take a gathering wrap, and I'm doing this a little bit away from the back of the fly where I'm tying this in, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to do 1 wrap, 2 wrap, 3 wrap, kind of tighten it down. But I want this to stay on top of the fly. So I'm going to lift that material up, and I'm going to start taking my thread wraps back down so that I can ensure this stays right on top of the hook shank. Okay, and then before it takes off down the bend, I'm just going to let go and make sure that I have that in place. Now I'm going to come in here and just trim out all these little butts. We'll get them out of the way. We're not going to need them. And then I'll just kind of secure the end of that with my thread. So take my last few wraps over those butts.
All right, looks like you're at a good place.
I'm always in a good place.
I forgot to show the baking cam.
Oh,
and that
well,
was sent in.
You need to do that.
That was sent in magically from Patty Poirier, folks. His children had fun baking up this wonderful mess of stuff. Any ideas what we're about to unfold?
Oh, that looks like maybe I'm going to take a stab here. I'm going with a brownie of some kind this time. That's what my guess.
Tim, what I do know is that this is probably your favorite meal.
Oh, man, now you got me guessing.
I know. So anyways, we'll have to come back and check
Yeah.
on the baking cam and see what's happening over at Patty Poirier's kitchen.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, got our tail on, guys. Now we are going to take our hackle feathers. So you're going to have hackle feather in some sort. It's going to be a brown. So probably looks something like one of these. Okay, whatever it is. Length isn't super crucial in this because we are going to actually, we're going to trim the length anyways, so not super crucial. So I'm just going to come down my feather here, and I'm actually going to peel out back on the stem so I can expose a chunk of the stem. I don't want any of the fluffies in it. I'll get that out of the way, okay? I'm going to tie this in just like so. I'm going to tip the underside of it back down the fly. I'm going to lay that at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to take a couple of cross wraps to kind of get it set. I'm just taking a few light ones at first so I can still kind of adjust it, get it to sitting right up against there. And then I'm going to fold that stem back down the fly and secure it to the hook shank. This is a really important one, guys. Right off the start, it's going to look like, well, that's tied kind of straight back down the fly. When we go to start wrapping it, we'll bend it back up, but this works to our advantage to keep it out of our way right now, which is kind of nice. Okay, now we're going to take our thread forward. We're going to go right back to that third way mark that we made at the start where we brought in our thread. Okay. Now we got this nice yarn here, and if you look at it, you can tell it's rope. It's roped up. So there's 3 individual fibers that create it. So what I want you to do is I want you to actually separate it, get a hold of just one of them. So you can see there's 3 of them in there. Get a hold of one, and I want you to peel it down off of there. So it takes a little bit to kind of peel them down, but you want to peel yourself down just one of those off of the rope. Okay, so we're just going to use
Probably
one.
not peel yourself down.
Not yourself.
Because you'd be sitting here like Chaz with nothing underneath the table.
Yeah, don't want that. And once we got that peeled off, guys, we're just gonna have a long piece of yarn. And this is what we're gonna do to build up the underbody. So this is kind of one of the parts that takes a little bit of time, is we're gonna go back and forth a few times using this to build some bulk. But if we'd have taken that full rope and done it all at once, it actually just makes an overly bulked body, and then our hackle's not gonna sit super well either. So we will do it kind of the traditional way, like this. So I'm gonna take just a gathering wrap. This is something we can do. So watch this. If I take a big chunk and I leave it out in front and I tie that in, okay, take 1 wrap, 2 wraps. Now watch what I can do. I can pull that all the way down. So it's like I just tied in the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. I can secure that tip down.
Why wouldn't you want any more than just the tip?
Well, just 'cause sometimes the tip's enough. And now I'm gonna do some open wraps. So at no time do I really wanna, like I said, I'm creating bulk. So I don't wanna just like put tons of wrap and really tighten this down. I wanna actually leave my thread kind of open as I spiral. Now I'm gonna bend that and I'm gonna come back down the fly. Still up on top. Okay, we're gonna do this a few times. So stick with me. That was once down. Now we're coming back. Okay. Now, this time I want to take and pull it onto the near side of the fly. So towards yourself, we're going to kind of build up the side. We're going to go back down again. A little bit more bulk here. Now I'm going to go over closer to you. I'm going to do it again. So now it's coming down the far side of the fly for myself. And this is all just, like I said, just using the material to create some bulk. And now we're only going to go back down and back up one more time. So this time we're going to go right back up on top. Okay, open spiral it all the way to the back. Basically, we want our thread hanging where the barb is, roughly pretty close. And now we're actually going to build the butt. I know it sounds kind of weird, but this is what the pattern calls for.
What size can the butt be?
The butt is actually a personal preference. So, you know, if you want it big and juicy, you go big and juicy. If you want it just kind of regular size.
What's regular? Maybe big and juicy is regular.
Maybe it is for you. I don't know.
Well, it is for me.
It is for you, it's true. So all I'm doing is folding this over, okay? So if I were to pinch that down right there, that's a big old butt. Okay, that's got some junk in the trunk. We do not need one quite that big, but it is a preference. In the pattern and learning this, they kind of call for it to be about that size. And I think it still looks a little bit funky and big, but hoppers have butts. They kind of stick up funny. So we're gonna stick with it. Let's do it like so.
It's weird. I didn't know they had butts.
They got butts. You gotta check them out. I can't lie.
When a little
I just can't lie.
butt walks in this place,
Yeah.
you get sprung.
with a big round thing in your face. Yeah. Okay, so that's the little hopper bum. I'm gonna leave on there. I'm gonna take a couple wraps to make sure it's not going anywhere. And now I'm actually gonna just lift this piece up, spiral my thread back forward. Gonna leave my thread right there. I'm gonna put a couple wraps down just to kind of build a little spot for my knot to hold. I'm gonna do a single overhand, half hitch. Just hold it in place. I'll set my my bobbin off to the side. Okay. And now I'm gonna use this one more time. I'm actually gonna palmer it forward this time.
One more time.
So go right to the back, cover up that first thread wrap. And then we're just gonna nice and kind of loose. I'm not pulling down super hard. I'm just gonna palmer this back. This is gonna create again a little bit more bulk, and it actually smooths out the body now. We'll create the segmentation with the hackle. So this is just meant to be a smooth underbody.
You know what? If I could just revise the pattern, call it David Dana's hopper.
David Danny's.
Just watching and like doing some research on the pattern. Is I would take a long, thin strip of foam, and I would do the exact same thing as the yarn.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, I would I would do the whole thing that you did. I would build the ball, keep it tight, and I would wrap it up. But I think foam, because like we said, is like foam is very popular now for hoppers. It might not have been popular back then.
Yeah.
Right? So adding the foam instead of the yarn, now think about it and let me know your thoughts, but that would soak up less water and be way more floatable.
I agree.
Thoughts?
I agree.
Anybody?
But I think to the contrary, maybe you lose a little bit of realism in the foam that you could gain from these natural materials.
Yeah, the fibers. Yeah, you're right. You are. And interesting, just a thought.
That's why it's fly tying. There's so many different things you could do. So all I did there, guys, I brought it back and I tied it off. Okay. I'm gonna do another half hitch. I'm gonna leave my thread there, and I'm gonna bring that hackle forward. So
Trout had a good point to that. It's the splat and the low profile add to the fly.
Yeah.
So the head, the deer hair head, and also what's important is what you're going to show us as we bring some hackle forward and how to get that lower profile.
Mm-hmm.
Which
it is. Yep.
Some bigger fish get a little
Definitely
pickier.
like the lower profile, yeah. And also, imagine this fly is likely going to sit, where did I got one here? In the water. Think about that head as what's floating most. And we talked about this the other week about a sunken hopper, right?
Well,
so,
and how if you see hoppers, nobody can see me doing this.
He's trying
awesome
to swim
dance.
like a hopper over here.
But they're just like, these are their legs. And they're just like, they can't go anywhere and they just do this.
Yeah.
Literally, I've spent so much time watching them and I'm laughing. It's like, they're just screwed.
They
like
can't swim.
When you get a stonefly on the water, they can skitter across.
Yeah.
But these hoppers fall in and they're literally just like head heavy and they just sit there.
Yeah.
And like that doesn't even create, it does nothing. It's just, they're not going anywhere.
Not even awake.
Nope. My charades. 2 words. Sounds like.
Oh, man. Okay, well, let's bring our hackle forward now. We've got it there. We need to make sure we avoid our butt. Okay. So we're going to bring that just in front of the butt for our first wrap. And the tendency of the butt here is that it wants to spin. So I like to bring it back, kind of hold it in place, and then do my first wrap. So it should remain like so. Still got my butt in there. And then I'm just going to palmer. Trying to keep nice even spacing. I'm sure the fish doesn't care, but it aesthetically is more pleasing. Bring your hackle forward. Depending on the length of your hackle, you just got to adjust how much width you have between your pieces. And once I get up to my thread again, I'll bring it back. I'm going to tie it off right there. Okay. A few wraps behind, a few wraps in front, and repeat. Always the same sequence, and we're tying off the materials. And now I'm going to clip out like that, like so. Make sure my butt is sitting where it's supposed to be and my tail.
So right there, that's green bomber, like a salmon fly, right?
Yeah, yeah. Very, very much so. So what I'm going to do before I do anything else, I'm going to pull back on that deer hair, or sorry, on not deer hair, on the hackle, and I'm going to start taking some thread wraps back against that stuff. This is where I'm going to build my collar. So I want to kind of pull that back, lay a little base of thread down. Okay. And then I can bring it back forward again. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim up my hackle. So this is what Dana was referring to. I can create this a lower profile in the water based off of how I trim it. So this hackle is actually pretty close to the length I want, except I don't want the sharp tips. I want a blunt tip. Does help it sit in the water a little differently, and hopefully it's going to hold it a little bit more level in the water as well. So trim your hackle so that it's just inside the hook gap. Okay, so if I took my scissors like that and I trim, I'm just inside the hook gap. And I'm going to do it on all of them. And as I go, if you have a rotating vise, just rotate and keep trimming. Trim it all down until it all looks fairly even. But you got to look on all sides of the fly because you will miss a part, trust me, where you think you've got it and you don't. So just make sure you got it trimmed down so it's all fairly even. So I'm going to go with it right there.
Here's a fun tip. Okay, so like a Chernobyl ant. It's tied similar to this, and then it just has a piece of foam across the top. It's got 4 sets of legs sort of thing. So what I've found is I will keep scissors in my my box, my fly box. Not my fly box, but like my boat box or my bag. Okay, where you keep your tools. I have seen fish reject flies multiple times, and I have just gone in and I've cut this hackle down so that, like Trout said, the low profile seems to do something different for these fish, and I've had success doing this. So whether it's a sequence of events that took place or it's the fact that I cut the hackle down, I highly encourage you to keep a pair of scissors in your where you keep your tools, right? Like your nippers and your clippers and your hemostats and whatever, because like Tim showed, I think it was last week on the Copper John, it's like you can cut legs down if you want, right? Yeah. You can't add them on when you're in the field, but you can always cut stuff down like that. So don't think that your fly on the bench is the finished version of what you need to fish. It's like it's something relevant to start, and you can always go back in there and do something like that.
Absolutely.
That's my tip of the day.
Very good. I like it. I like the tip. Okay, guys. Well, just remember, you should still have some space in front of this. If you're at this point, you're like crowding your head. Even I feel a smidge crowded right now, knowing what I have to put on here, but it's still going to work out okay. But just remember, you shouldn't be crowding your head right now. You needed about 1/3 of that hook to work with. Okay?
Trout wants to know if you like curved scissors or straight.
I prefer my straight. That's just me, but everybody kind of has their preference, but that's mine. Yeah. Okay, now the next thing that's going to go in here, guys, could be one of the most frustrating things you've ever had to tie if you haven't. But thankfully for you and your kit, we've already tied them together. This is pheasant tail, double knotted.
I don't think you gave enough credit to that.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to
I encourage somebody to get a pheasant tail
and try to do this. It's not fun.
Yeah.
But we tied the legs for you already. So this is, instead of using a rubber leg, we're using a barred. And to be honest, I don't think there's anything that looks more natural than this stuff.
No, it's
incredible.
Yeah.
Just probably not as durable as a rubber leg, but hey, it's awesome to work with. So we're gonna take one on each side. That knot we want to be basically just in front of the butt, so that when it's turned upside down, that leg's gonna kind of sit out nicely. Okay. We want them to curve down, so we want the knot and then the tip piece to point down. Okay, so I'm gonna take one in. I'll tie it in on that side of the fly first. So I'm basically just gonna lay it up against that hackle. My hand's gonna be in the way here for a moment, so I'm just showing you this part, just about to where the butt is. Then I'm gonna pinch it against the fly, bring my thread here, and secure it. And hopefully, it didn't move too much on me. And if it does, that one moved a little bit. Then I just got to bring it back against. So we're left with something like this. So you want that to be hanging out to the side, hopefully pointed down.
Here's what I'll do, Tim. Just hold tight, because I got a really cool picture of grasshoppers right here.
Oh, look at that.
And so basically, what you can see there, I don't know why you can't see my mouse. But anyways, in the I guess the elbow of the grasshopper, see how they look exactly like that knotted pheasant tail?
Yeah, very much so.
And yeah, so that's exactly what we're doing here is that it's basically their leg that pushes them to jump.
Yep.
So yeah, kind of cool, I thought.
Their jumper legs. There we go. So they can be difficult to orientate. That's kind of the nature of these things. But we want to do one on each side. So get one on the one side. Try to keep them fairly even as far as where that kind of elbow or knee joint is. Get one on the near side of the fly towards yourself. And you don't get as much wiggle room as when you have the rubber legs, but you can still adjust them slightly. And if it isn't perfect, if you don't quite like how it laid, then just pull it out, change it, try it again. This one didn't sit as nicely as the other one. Very nice music here, Dane.
So Trout's saying there's a tool that you can make out of a paper clip to tie these.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
Let me look it up and see if I can share it with the folks.
That'd be awesome.
And thanks for the music recommendation. I don't like it, but
I like a little metal in my life. Okay, so now that I've got those in, take a couple more wraps to make sure they're bound down. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to trim them out. Trim out the butts. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a little bit of a platform here for my thread, because when you go from kind of a bulky surface down to the thin, when you're spinning deer hair, you're going to have a little bit of fun with that. So I do like to have a little bit of that kind of brown thread. It kind of marks like a change from the head to the thorax to the back to basically the body starting. So I'm not going to tie my first set of deer hair in right up against where the yellow starts. I'm going to stay back just a smidge. But that brings us to our next material before we go to the deer hair is we get to work with some turkey flats, which is something we don't do a whole lot of. So you're going to have a chunk of turkey flat in your kit, something like this. Okay, now we want a piece that's, it's really hard to gauge until you just kind of handle it a bit. I always pull out a piece that I think's a little bit bigger. So that's probably like 10 or 12 pieces of feather, because there's a whole bunch of individuals in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my scissors. I'm just going to snip it off. Now this stuff has a tendency to want to separate, and you can like pull one piece away from the other, like so. I can kind of pull that back and down. But if I stroke it again, I know, no good terminology here, but I am going to stroke the feather, and it's going to actually marry it back together, because it's designed to be together. So it naturally wants to go back to that. So from here, I kind of like this width. It's about a hook gap in width on this hook. Okay. What I want this to do is when I lay this on top, it's kind of meant to curl around a little bit. It doesn't, unfortunately, it sits more like a wing than it does a casing of the back. But this mottled appearance is really, really nice on this bug. Don't worry about the length, because we're actually going to trim the top of it. What I want you to worry about more than anything is just getting it tied in a way that kind of holds it in place, so that it does want to give you some of the shape that you want. So I just kind of bring it out, I lay it on top. You're going to fight a little bit with the hackle feather because the hackle wants to make it stand up, but I lift it up and I basically just push it with my thumb. I'm going to get it so it's as rounded as it could be. I'm going to push it around the edge of that hackle feather a little bit, like so, around the edge. And then I'm going to grab my thread. I'm going to come up and under, kind of make sure that butts are oriented again, and then pull tight. And if I did it properly, it should on top look like that, rounded a bit. Now we are going to trim this, so don't worry about the fact that it's super long out the back. Okay, so I got that there. I'm going to take a couple of thread wraps back on top of it. That's where my collar is going to be with my deer hair. I'll trim out the butt ends here.
Once you get that tied into where you want and you're ready to jump onto the deer hair, I got a little video that's going to play and show kind of how they do these with this special tool here.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, the last thing we're going to do is we'll just do something with this turkey flat before we do that, is we are just going to trim it. So I want you to think of length being that it extends about to the butt, I'm going to cut it off square right there. And then what I'm gonna do is, you can see, obviously that's very squared off. I just wanna round the edges of that. So I'm gonna come in with my scissors and try to round it off a little bit. The best I can. So it looks like that, okay? See it against maybe my hand a little better. There we go. So it's rounded, okay? And if I laid it back and down, it'll extend just beyond the butt, okay?
So real looking.
Just like that. Okay, you can show your video now.
Okay, so I just pulled this off of YouTube because I thought it'd be cool to share for you guys. Like somebody said, I think I'm going to blow these up. So you can go get a bunch of pheasant tails and do it on your own. But basically something off the YouTube here. And so they have this tool here stuck in the vise, and it's pointing up. So it's just kind of the reference to how it gets started. We're not going to really hear anything with the voices, but we're just going to see how this knot tool kind of works so that you guys can go ahead, slide it back through there, poke it through.
Oh,
Just
interesting.
like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
That seems really miserable to do it. But
Yeah,
hey, it
so
works.
you're welcome.
Yeah, the crochet hook was the other way. That works pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just silly. You'd have to watch the video on it.
So what you can do in our situation to pack 1,000 of them is you can buy these.
Come on, you're not supposed to give away our tips. Jeez.
You can buy them all tied up, and but someone had to do this.
Yeah, someone somewhere.
And basically, that's kind of how that tool works, and I think it's super cool. So there you go. We wanted to show you that to make you smarter than us.
Doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah, so you can buy one of those tools, and then yeah, but you just sit there for 5 days and tie up a whole bunch, and then you're laughing.
Yep.
Wrap it around just one more time. It's kind of he's taking his time there. Pop it down through.
He really is taking his time on this one.
Yeah, it's really important. All right,
And he was
we'll come
struggling.
back when he's. Oh, there he does. He got
Yeah,
it
he
now.
finished it.
It's
Perfect
over.
course.
So yeah, anyways, that's how she goes. That's another tip of the day. 2 tips of the day.
That's too many tips.
2 TODs, 2 Todds.
2 Dodds. Okay, guys, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. I know how much you love working with deer hair, so let's just do it. You got some deer hair in your pack, whatever your patch looks like. They're all the hair works the same, whether it looks a little different color, whatever, no big deal. What we're gonna do is we're gonna grab not a crazy big clump, probably like just over a half of a width of a pencil. I don't know why we use that terminology because it doesn't look like that at all, but I'm grabbing a decent amount. This one is gonna be our collar, but our collar doesn't go all the way around. It's only on the top and the sides. So it doesn't have to be quite as much as our next one, which is gonna be actual spun deer hair. So trim some off the patch. I always like to trim a little bit more, and then when I place it on there and look at it, I can be like, no, that's a little too much, and I can just take some out. Go ahead and grab a comb or something, or whatever you need to get all that under fur out, because we don't want that stuff in there. Find a wastebasket for that to go into. Make sure I got all of that out before I start stacking, because that stuff just inhibits the stack process, and it doesn't work well to tie in with. So once I got that there, I'm gonna go ahead and get it into my hair stacker. Okay, tips first, obviously. We'll get it down, we'll tap it, pull it off so that the butt end of the tool is pointed back down the fly. So there is my stack tips. I'm gonna grab those out of there. And now this is the time where I like to kind of place it on the fly and just get a visual. Is this too much? Is this not enough? I'm gonna lay it on here. Does that look like that's enough to get all the way around the edges? And yeah, I think actually I might have nailed the guess on this one. Seems like a decent amount. We don't want this to go back down the fly super far. Okay, so we want it to obviously enter into the yellow on the edges, but we don't want to take up a bunch of space. We don't want to go over halfway down for sure, because then we're just gonna end up kind of covering some of the stuff that we want to show off. So I'm gonna go roughly somewhere about there, okay? Now, what the important part is here is this needs to stay on the top and side, so how I do that is by pinching with these hands, okay? That holds them in place, that doesn't allow it to spin around each side. So I'm gonna switch hands, I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna pinch this right up on top, pinch down hard, okay? Now I can switch hands. You can see all the deer hair is stacked on top of the hook shank, which you can see underneath the hair. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first wrap. Okay, I'm going to start to pull and flare the hair. This is why we're using a little heavier thread too. It's important. I'm going to pull a little bit tighter on that second one, and then I'm going to start weaving my thread through the butts. So kind of down the hook shank a bit through the butts. That's really going to secure this and keep it from moving around in a way we don't want it to, and pull tight. So although you see a few of the fibers down here, I've never let go with this hand. So watch what happens when I let go. Shabam.
Wow.
I've got my collar.
Wow.
It's on the sides.
I'm late on the effects.
That's okay. There it is.
Look at that. He let her go.
Let her go.
And the collar did not move from the top of the fly.
It did not move.
Wow.
That's what we hope for. Okay, so at this point, we aren't gonna cut these butts out. We might as well use them. And I like the fact that they're super long, because when we go to trim this, we know that these are the last hairs to cut before we get to our collar, which we obviously don't want to cut out. So I'm just gonna pull all these back out of the way, get my thread in front of them. Gonna put a few thread wraps right here. And now let's go ahead and grab a similar size, maybe a smidge bigger patch of deer hair again. And this one is gonna be the one we spin. Okay, so still needs to be a decent chunk of hair. Okay, I'm gonna go somewhere kind of in that neighborhood. I'm gonna clean it out like I did the last time with the comb. So go over your wastebasket, clean it out, get the fluffies out. Make sure they're all out of there. And then this time we're not stacking it because we don't need to. Okay, we're actually gonna cut out a piece of this. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna trim out the tips.
Just the tips.
Just the tips. And the reason I do that is because then I don't get them confused with what I need to be trimming out and what I don't. So
Scooter asked a question here. Is that the same way you would tie the elk hair on a caddis?
Very, very similar, man. Exactly how I would do it, actually. Like, it's the exact same distance. I don't want to be around to the bottom side on the caddis either. So yeah, you're correct. That's exactly how I would do it. I'm just grabbing a little extra hair. I felt maybe a little bit light on that one, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more to my stack.
I was gonna say you looked a little light on that hair grab.
You would know.
Tim, I'm feeling gracious today, and in the giveaways, I'm gonna add a Clapton Clutch sticker.
Oh, that's clutch, man.
But you have to beat the wizard to win the Captain Clutch, so that you don't lose next time.
Never mind, I take it back. There's no chance.
Anyways,
the wizard always wins.
Well, no, that's not true this year.
The wizard, this year.
Although he has to cheat, he beat Adrian. so they think.
Okay, guys, so here's my next stack of hair. Now, this is the one we're gonna spin. And you guys have done well. We've done some spinning already this year. We did the Bover Bugger head. We're doing the same thing here. Stick with me. This is not, I hate to say it's not hard because I know there's a level of technicality to it, but if you kind of follow these simple steps, it'll work out for you, okay? Let's pull this hair back. Let's lay this hair right on top of it, kind of like at a 45. Okay, so I'm gonna be taking my thread wraps, kind of.
We do gotta get your nails.
It's hard to chew them this hard, okay? Like,
I don't think it is.
Okay, first wrap around. Okay, this one's to flare the hair. Okay, so I started flaring it. Second one, I'm gonna pull a little harder and I'm gonna start letting go with this hand. Okay, this hand's gonna start to let go, but I haven't let go fully yet. I'm gonna reach in, take one more wrap through, and this time I'm gonna place my hands right on the eye and pull.
So
see that
spin the deer hair.
Spun the deer hair. And then I'm gonna take one more as a fourth just to kind of secure and tighten.
So pull too hard and what happens?
Your thread breaks and the hair goes
and
kablam.
That is an end of the show.
That's the end of that fly.
That's the end of that fly. Okay. So John has also a good question.
Yeah.
The wizard always wins, question mark, question mark?
Well, John's the only winner of the wizard twice in a row, so.
But then you know what John just did tonight?
What'd he do?
Because he's a good dude. He went and bought a Captain Clutch sticker.
All right, John. How about that?
Yeah.
Thanks for giving back.
I think he is the wizard. Like, it's freaking me out. He wins 2 bagels in a row, beats the wizard twice, and then to rub it in our face, he buys a Captain Clutch sticker. Because he's probably going to win tonight.
He's probably going to win tonight, yeah.
God, that's so bad.
So then I'm going to grab all this hair, pull it back out of the way. I need to get my thread all the way through to the eye. So just pull it through. And we need to start taking some thread wraps right there. Okay?
Here's you get 20% off at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop tonight. But the auto bobbin, which is a Norvise product, in a situation like this where all of a sudden you get too far away with your thread,
Oh yeah, it's
your
amazing.
hand's full of deer hair.
Yeah, you want something there to retract back, and that's why this ball.
That's what you are.
You gotta get quicker with that button.
I know, but you are.
I know. I gotta. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Anyways, that's one really handy thing with an auto bobbin.
It is super handy. When dealing with this deer hair, I do like to use my half hitch tool. You know, I like it, especially dry flies or working with hair. So that's what I'm gonna do. You could whip finish it. A little more difficult to do working around the hair, but you can still do it. Whip my half hitch. I'm gonna lay it here, 1-2 wraps. Put the hole over the eye of the hook. Keep tension on it. Let it pass over the eye.
Just hold tight. So if you don't have a half hitch tool, what could you do?
Well, there's lots of things you can do. You could open up a Bic pen, make it hollow. Grab one of your other tools. Hey, is this a bodkin? What's this? Oh,
Yeah, that's a good point.
look.
Oh wow, look at the other end, the hole in the
It's a hole
end.
in the end. So tools like that. I'll show you this one here too. where
Your
my
bobbin.
your actual whip finish, your
Your
bobbin,
whip finish.
your bobbin works. Where's my whip finish? Yeah, right here. So here's a whip finish tool. Whip finish tool on the bottom of it. Another hole.
Wow, look at that. Holes everywhere.
That's how it works. Okay, so we're pretty much done here, guys. I've done my half hitch twice. I think that's gonna hold well. I'm gonna go ahead and trim up my thread. I'm gonna put just a little bit of resin on it before I start trimming, just to make sure that that doesn't go anywhere. So I'll set that aside. All I'm gonna do.
Cam.
Oh my gosh.
Put your wiener up.
Go to bed, Gam. Okay, I'm just gonna touch a little bit of my Solarez Bone Dry to right there. I'm gonna stick my handy hook right there so that I don't cure all the resin in the hole.
That would be a fly that I was gifted by Tim.
It would. I'm getting better. I'm at least remembering to do this. Cure that on there like that. Okay, let the fun begin. I said that last time, but now it's really gonna begin. So all that hard work you just did could go out the window with one misstep or slip. But what we're gonna do here, guys, is we are going to start trimming. So remember, oh man, here we go. Pressure's on. We want a rounded head. We want it to look something like this. Let's get to it. Remember, small movements. I'm not trying to take it all off at once. Little bits at a time. As I come around, take a little bit at a time. Little touches with your razor blade. You could do this with scissors, but it definitely would be a little harder to get the shape you want. But you'll notice I'm not just trying to take off a whole schwack at a time, because I'm trying to expose enough that I can see what I'm working with. Two biggest things you don't want to cut here. You don't want to cut your collar off, and you don't want to cut your legs off. Remember, your legs are tied just on the inside here, this hair. On the bottom, we don't want any hair, okay? We don't want any hair to extend.
Never do.
We don't want any hair to extend back into the lower portion of the fly. That's why we didn't put a collar there, okay? So I like to get in here with my scissors and just kind of trim that off flat. So now I can see a little bit where my where everything's gonna get to. I actually do use my scissors on this head more than I do most deer heads at the end, just because I'm gonna use it to get the last little bit of big hair away from my collar. If you got a Norvise, a great way of getting hair out of the way is just spin it really fast.
Trout said another thing you don't want to do is cut your fingers off either.
That's a true story. There's so much danger involved in fly tying. Okay, so I did spin that again. You can see right on that inside there, I'd made a little cut and I can now see my collar coming through. And like I said before, that's why we leave this big long hair up here. So I can actually reach up and grab it and push it against the blade. And then I'm just gonna get that last little bit away from the collar without me being too worried about it. So I'm literally grabbing it and pulling it back against the blade, which will cut it and expose that collar. And that is gonna make this look a lot nicer. And in a perfect world, you just want your collar left, okay? And as for the rest of the head, we're just creating a little bit of a rounded shape, kind of what you can imagine a hopper's head would look like. It's gonna be a little rounded. If you have any hair that's just kind of sticking in there, get it out. You can get super geeky about this. Just remember, you can't put hair back on, so be careful when you're cutting it off. I like that, guys. I like the way that head turned out.
Dewey is here. Better late than never. MF Dewey.
What's up, Dewey?
He's probably starting chainsaws in the garage without clothes on.
Maybe. Last little bit here, guys, and then I'll be done with this one. There it is. That is Dave's hopper.
Well done, Tim. And it's in one piece.
It's in one piece. That's what it's about.
Look at the legs. Look at the realistic-ishness of... It's funny because that monitor looks green.
Yeah, no, it's so yellow, but
so
it looks
yellow,
green.
But that's not the one that they see. They see the yellow one, which is this one.
That's good.
Which makes it look so much better. What a great, difficult
little fly.
A lot of stuff goes into this when a simple Chernobyl is extremely effective.
There is thoughts that have gone through my head.
Very few times.
Yeah.
Do we actually fish the Dave's hopper? Because
well, the honest truth is, if you're buying it, it's one thing. To tie, it's a lot of work, and
It's
then
a
on
lot
the
of
other
work.
side of it,
really,
it's hard to fish the way we fish out of a boat with clients. It's kind of hard to fish all the time.
yeah. So, what we look for in patterns, in picking patterns, whatever watershed you're fishing, as a guide perspective, this is what you need to look for. You need to find a pattern that works, a pattern that stays up for longer than 3 seconds,
Yeah.
and a pattern that clients can see.
That's
So
the last one's maybe
it's-
one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, it's very interesting when you're choosing your favorite patterns, or if people are like, what's your favorite hopper pattern? Well, Tim, you want to grab your other mic and get nice and
sorry.
warm?
Nice and warm sounding.
Yeah, you're back now.
I'm back.
So yeah, it's interesting because oftentimes people are like, what's your favorite hopper pattern? Well, in a guide perspective, you're trying to find the things that tick the 3 boxes that fish eat. Okay. And then you got to find, like, something like this is really hard to fish out of a drift boat for most people. So if you do have a pattern like this that's really hard to fish, what you could do is you could have a double dries. So you could have a stimmy, not a stimmy because I hate those flies, like a Chernobyl, right? So a couple indicator foams on top, you can see it very well. And then you have this fly as a trailer, right? So things that that you can do, but I definitely think it is a pattern that works better later in the season because fish get pickier. And like I said, when you reverse psychology, what I just told you about the 3 things that need to work, the fish need to eat it, like it. It has to float, and the clients need to be able to see it. So when you work back and you say, the client can't see it, it doesn't float, but the fish will eat it, right? And I say this because these patterns that fill all 3 boxes, the fish see them all the time. And they're like, oh, shadow, boat, oh, piece of foam, not it. I got stung before. So over time, they start to get leery. So then you go back to finding the fly that the clients can't see. It doesn't float, but the fish will eat it.
But maybe you just need your clients to trust you, and you see, and they don't.
Yeah, and when you say set the hook, we talked about that last week. Yeah, and so trout says needs to be durable. For me, that's like literally 4th, 5th on the list because
1 fly a fish, 2 fly a fish is that's a win.
But durable for sure because definitely I sometimes feel like I get 2 or 3 fish a fly, and then it is what it is. Why so much hate for stimmy? Because it never floats proper. It always goes on its side. It never stays up.
Yeah.
And
Literally said this today. One of my favorite flies to actually tie, but hate fishing it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not that I have hate for it because it works. I have 0 fun fishing it, and I just find that it falls on its side a lot, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's a great pattern. All the same.
Yeah, it's like the Dave's hopper. It doesn't. It falls over. So, yeah, I think it's a condition specific pattern, and when the conditions ask for it, it works well. It's very real, so fish get a little pickier. Also, remember, if you're fishing like heavier, faster water, that's when like foam and Chernobyl work better than something like this. And slower, stiller waters, I would probably go to more of a realistic pattern. Are you cold?
No, I'm good. Are you cold? Cutting glass over there?
Okay. All right. What should we do next?
I think we should maybe play some bingo.
Bingo. Well, Tim, that's the wrong answer. We got to check out what's on the baking cam.
What is going on? Okay, so is that margarine or cream cheese?
Well, it says to open to close, keep refrigerated. Well, that's cream cheese.
Yep.
Because I know, because that's how it's sealed at the top. What I do know is that is a large thing of vanilla.
I was just gonna say I thought it was vinegar, but that is a huge
container. So it looks like this is going to be some form of icing, perhaps like cream cheese, like
all
like
I
a
can say is
muffin?
I'm disappointed they're not here because I want to eat them.
Maybe they are, and I haven't told you.
If they are, I would be very happy. I will admit
What
that.
is Dana wearing that is not a new hoodie? Well, I think you can still buy these hoodies, to be honest.
Oh,
press. So.
I do like those hoodies.
Yeah, I
Very
love
nice.
these hoodies. Just trying to see if they haven't deleted us off of that page.
Off that page quite yet.
No, right there, Fly Fishing Bover Outfitters. So, yeah, that's the baking cam. And while we're here, we're going to check out and see what's next on there. Wow, see, I told you it's some sort of icing.
Yep.
Getting ham jam together. And looks like there's no rules on this one. It's just drop some powder and drop another thing in there.
To taste. Must be sweet.
Yeah, so you want this shirt or you want some other shirts? What am I going to do? I'm going to do this. Boom. We're going to go play bingo right away. But if you head over to this website, which is pressandsew.com, PRESS. I think I can write it in the comments here.
Press and sew.
Wow, where to go? Black one threw me off. So, www.pressandsew.com. And it's American. They're friends of ours. It's not just some random company. And there it is. So yeah, you can go over there and this is the website here. And it looks like we have no items.
You spoke too soon.
Yeah. All right. Tim got large. Well, so apparently they have redacted all of our clothing. So
some friends,
not friends anymore. Anyways, that's where it was. Send them an email and say where's
the shirts, peeps?
Where's all the clothing?
Well,
that's what live streaming's all about. You just never know how things are going to turn out in that situation. So let's go do things for free and play some bingo.
Yeah, for free.
Ray.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's kind of how that went.
That's exactly
wow,
how
wow,
that went.
wow, wow. So how do you play bingo, Tim? Well, tell the folks at home.
It really isn't that hard.
They have their cards.
If you ever been down to the local bingo hall and had your dabber, you're just gonna dab a little do
And
every
a
time
little
you see
dab.
call.
A little dab. I don't know.
Hey, Dad. I know my dad's watching. Tell me what a little dab will do. Brill cream. I bet it's in his hair right now. I bet it is.
Tim, I literally can't find the mouse.
Okay, guys, how do you play this? Well, you're going to see the calls up there. There's already 4 calls. Dana's still searching for the mouse cursor. You just need one line to win. That line could be vertical. Can it be at an angle? I don't know.
Where's the mouse? It could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. Nobody knows.
It could just be a
anyway,
line.
any direction, as long as it's one line, that's all you need to win, and you're going to see the calls come up. But what's important is as we play, If you get a full line and you call bingo, drop bingo in the comments. We need to know which call it's on. So you see if it's like call 4, say call 4. And then we also need to know your card ID.
Found the mouse.
And your card ID. And then that's it.
Yeah, so say call 4, bingo ID 000.
000.
What's Rocky Mountain Fly Shop doing tonight? Well, they have a discount code. And that discount code is for they have 3 discounts, but the first one given out was TNL Fly Tying, which I can find. I found my mouse so I can enter it up here. Say TNL Fly Tying, 20% off all fly tying materials, devices, tools at www.rockymountainflyshop.net. Boom. There you go, folks. SOS Ron Croteau. He's still here, and he was feeling like poo.
You're back. That's good, Ron.
Okay, so we got no winners. All right, so we're going to go to the next call was Love People Catch Fish. So we got the Bow River Bugger, the Charlie Boy Hopper, the Fat Albert, and the Hippie Fly. Love People Catch Fish. So you just got to get one line and let us know when you do, like Tim said.
One line to win. One line to win. I wonder if somebody will actually pull out one of their Captain Clutch stickers this time.
Well, it's
Hasn't happened yet.
John Miller.
Well, yeah, if he's going to win, he will.
So we wait. We have a little bit of pause. Oh, another Captain Clutch immunity sticker went for sale. That's a good friend, Keith and Sundry.
Oh,
so he's immune.
Yeah, he's immune.
Keith is immune. We appreciate
Very good,
that, Keith.
Yes, yes.
You are immune.
Immunity. Immunity.
All right.
Jeff's close.
We're going to do another call here, and that is a coffin fly.
Coffin fly. Are we tying that?
We sure are, Tim. Remember? Welcome to the show, Tim.
We didn't already tie, did we?
No.
I don't remember that one.
It's bottom left of the big screen.
Oh, man.
All right. Yeah. Remind me to talk about these fish pond nets after, because I brought a bunch in for you guys. What?
Don't forget to talk about
Oh, thanks, Tim.
Yeah. Did my job.
Tim, you're Captain Clutch. You hold on to this sticker. What are we giving away anyways?
Oh, man. Let me see.
That whole bag there. And we do take a pause here because...
Oh, man. I hope that's not a shipping bag. Because it's tore up. Okay, guys. Let's talk a little bit about what we got going out. We got some fluorocarbon from Orvis.
Yeah,
Not
but
from Orvis, from
what
West,
is that's 100 meters. That's like a $40 roll of tippet.
Oh, it is. It's 100 meters.
Yeah, that's the guide
crazy.
spool. Yeah,
That's a lot. That'll do you.
a little dab will do you.
Oh, a very nice, very, very nice. You're giving
Orvis
this away? Are you
sun shirt.
crazy?
I know.
If it was my size, I wouldn't be putting it back in the bag.
I know.
We got an Orvis sun hoodie.
Ensemble Dry Skunk is up next.
We've got another fly box coming to you, and of course you have to be stuck with us because it's coming
We're
from us.
stuck with you.
We got a couple of Orvis 2-pack of your leaders.
4X,
3X,
3X in mono.
Very nice. Oh, what do we have here?
Wow, from Mr. Blake Teague.
Blake Teague's got a... Oh, these things are so awesome.
Bingo 096, Patty Poirier, and if he wins, that is fantastic because at the end of the day, Patty's the one that sent in the baking cam.
No way.
Yeah,
Awesome.
way, totally.
Yahweh. We also have some stuff from Morning View Mercantile. We got some...
Oh, yeah, some good
we got
stuff.
some freeze-dried chili. We got some dried mangoes. Freeze-dried mangoes. And from Jose, we've got...
Butterfly Girl. A
Butterfly
sun
Girl.
shirt from
Sun
Alberta
shirt.
Fly Girl.
And yeah, that's what we got
Lavender
here.
Haze.
Lavender Haze.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that is a one stacked kit right there.
We haven't even shown commercials tonight.
Yeah, we have. We've been so busy having fun.
I know.
We'll do it later.
Bingo 18, call 6. Patty, remember the rules. Adrian's got bingo again. Patty, you got to give us your call number. Blake got home, and welcome, Blake.
Welcome, Blake. We're going to give away
We
one
just
of
gave
Leatherman's.
some props to you. And Teague's Pawn Shop.
Adrian, did you seriously not buy a Captain Clutch sticker after
Well, it
last
doesn't
week?
matter. He's 049, call 7. So it looks like Ritzko so far is call 6. Cole is call 7. So we just wait. Things come in.
Yeah.
Dry skunk. Looks like Ritzko is on call 6.
Nice. Mr. Mike Ritzko.
And Ritzko,
Does he have one?
he has one.
Oh, man. We're finally going to get a winner.
Call 7. Patty's on call 7. All right, let's just see if we have anybody else coming in on call 6. Because so far, we are going to have to check out Ritzko's bingo, which is 018 call 6.
018 call 6.
Oh,
Let's see it.
18. Looks
There
like
it
that's
is.
the line.
Oh,
he almost
got
had
it.
2 lines,
Almost
too.
had 2 lines.
So anyways, we're just going to hang out for a second. Make sure nobody else has call 6.
All call 7s.
Koteko, 92. Bingo, call 7. Okay, so close, but not call 6. Ritzko's on
Yeah,
call
man.
6. And the fact of the matter, bingo call. This is it, folks. The first time ever.
Yeah, it actually works.
If you buy a Captain Clutch immunity sticker, it's over. You don't get to see the wizard. It's gonna be
He's going to be so
grumpy.
mad.
Yeah. So, Ritzko, you get another Captain Clutch. You get a sticker from Friends at Fish Pond. You get a Doors of Doom. You get all things. This is what happens, guys. When you buy a Captain Clutch sticker and you win bingo, guess what?
That's it.
It's over.
It's over.
There's no such thing as wizard. We don't have to put on the wizard hair. I mean, the wizards don't have to show up. They
No.
don't care.
They care.
That's kind of how it is.
Well, you have to break the news to him. I don't want to talk to him.
I'm not letting him out of his cage.
Okay, good.
I
Tell
won't
him
even
later.
tell him we went live. I'll tell him technical difficulties.
Yeah, I took a week
and
off.
Joel Satherwood's in the house. He's late.
Our vision for it is for people to come out here to enjoy the spot and to find peace, I guess. Like, a lot of people ask us if we're gonna get Wi-Fi out here, and we're like, no, like this is a place to disconnect and reconnect with your family and with yourself and just find quiet.
Bam! That's how she goes down. Because Tim reminded me, I just want to show you guys because actually there's a 30% discount code coming. You've got your 20% discount codes that you can use on all things fly tying. But I wanted to show you guys, which Tim will help me here, as a little bit of Vanna White, is show you the fish pond nets and kind of the sizes and what I recommend and what I think you should or shouldn't do. So this is the Nomad hand net. So pros and cons. Tim, you want back in here?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so what you can do here is say that's a good basket. That's a good size basket.
That's good.
If you're fishing with Tim. Okay, it's very.
Okay, let's just clarify something real quick.
No, it's convenient.
No, let's talk about who's ever brought a net fishing.
Well, I don't. That's what I'm doing off of what my friends do. I don't bring nets fishing. My
Never.
friends do.
Not once.
Troy Tracy, he's out of here. He's got to go early morning. I'll be doing the quick ties tomorrow night. Have a good one,
See you,
everybody.
Troy.
Yeah. Okay. So, short handle. Okay. I would say if you're in slower water, like lakes and stuff. Just hang on a sec. Technical difficulties. Okay. All right. Okay. So this one here, it's not really showing me how to do this. You got to get the fish close because the net is short. And people often go to this because it's easy to hook on, right? It's got a little hook right here. It's easy to hook on their backpack. Fair enough. In faster water, you're not going to be able to get that fish over closer to you, so you're going to need something with a longer handle. So also understanding the species at which the fish are catching are in there. Remember, in the Bow River, this might be great, but there is 28-inch, 29-inch fish, 10, 15 pounds. So when you hook into something like that, the net becomes rather small, right?
Yeah.
I highly discourage such a short handle. Also think about the banks at which you go in and to get your fish. So like on the Old Man where we do a lot of walk and wades, it's very steep down there and it's really hard to go down and use something of this size. Okay, so this one here runs for $170 at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, and it is the Nomad hand net. Okay, you can hold that for reference. As you kind of move up into the big boy category, this is the Nomad mid-length boat net. Almost my favorite net. Okay. The basket is great. The size is reference.
Yeah, it's
everything's falling apart over there. It's
quite
a bit bigger.
Quite a bit bigger. Yeah.
We need a bigger studio to show you guys. But again, I don't approve of the length. Nothing's in focus with me because
never is.
It's turning into a disaster, Tim.
You gotta just touch there.
There
it is.
I
It's
just
on
gotta
you.
touch myself and it'll focus.
Yeah, touch your face.
I don't like.
It
I
is
don't
a little
like
shorter
the
handle.
short. But rafts in some places might not fit longer handles, so you might need them. This is the handle length that I love. I love a long handle.
That's
Okay,
very nice.
It's in faster rivers and stuff. It's way easier to reach out and net your fish. I think this is a very awkward size.
Basket? Yeah.
Basket.
This is even worse. It's a little smaller.
Yeah. So this one is called the Nomad El Jefe Grande Net. And this one is for $300. But you got 20% off discount. No, it's Fly Time Materials. But there's a 30% and a 40% coming. So, hey, get your favorite net. What I will say about the fish pond nets, okay, we've already talked about it before, but the bag is replaceable at like $20 to $30. So over time, UV, they do break down. I think 5 years went by, and my net sits in my boat for 5 years in the sun, and eventually I had to replace it. Really easy to do. Very easy to do, and then you're good. I've had this net stepped on. I've had it left. It's almost indestructible. And I know the Broden or whatever wood nets, they're beautiful to look at, but they absolutely take a beating. And I see people fishing with like aluminum extendable 20-foot length whatever.
Hey,
I don't think there's a lot of right and wrong in fly fishing.
Except for that.
Your nets.
Yeah. I've only ever seen one of these break, and it was actually Jordan. He tripped and fell and had it on his back. And it was a short one.
Oh, and he got caught.
And it was because the basket was longer than the handle. And the way it got caught on his back, it's like it pivoted right on the joint, and it fractured there. That's the only one I've ever seen. I'm like Dane, I've had mine for 6 years now. So.
So walk and wades, I like the long net. I stick it in my bag. Okay, a lot of people look for those magnetic
behind
clamps.
your bag. not in your bag.
No, yeah, but like between my back and my bag.
Yeah.
The magnetic thing's cool, but I've lost nets. I'm crawling down the side of the trees and looking to get in, and all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, I look back, and I don't have a net because the magnet came apart. I got hung up in a tree somewhere. You can do the same thing when your net's sticking out, but yeah, so I have the two big, the long handle and the boat nets, and I just love them. I do. 100% durable and love them. So is there any nets with smaller holes in the webbing? The fish I should catch around home will slip through the holes, or should I just go fish somewhere with big fish?
You know where to come, Mike.
Those aren't that small, but they can break. And I've seen somebody on the internet in the area showing you how to like fuse them together with a welding torch and stuff.
Zip tie?
Cool idea, but zip ties work perfectly.
Yeah,
and electrical tape. I've lost a client's fish because I had a hole and the fish swam away, and I was holding it in the river, and all of a sudden I went to lift it up and the fish is gone. Bruce, shut your mouth. I don't lose fish before you even comment.
We've all lost fish.
Anyways, let's get to the second fly. But before we do that,
where's that? Oh, you went there? I thought you were going to show me the bacon again.
I'll get back to the bacon cam. But we need to know that TNL Fly Tying unlimited uses for 20% off all fly tying materials, tools, and vices.
Yes.
So is the basket on the El Jefe small?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say small, but it isn't as big as the guide.
It's a weird,
size. It honestly is probably great.
It is great.
It's not as deep. And
if
you've ever netted a fish for someone or yourself, you wouldn't be happy with a bigger basket size. Like, it's so much nicer having a big.
Feel the bulge here?
Yeah, I see it.
Right
it's
about
like
at 6 inches. It bulges.
It's like a little handle hold or something. I don't think mine does that. I don't know.
I think yours does that. I love that your parents are watching because you're
Mom and Dad,
you're so like proper.
You're killing me here.
All right,
you mean
so
I'm always proper?
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got
Yeah,
another
anyways.
code dropping right here, and this one is for 30% off.
30%.
I don't care if your cart's full or not. It's Hopper Dropper, and that's 30% off for one person.
One person. All right. Well.
So, get out there, get your fly tying, and this 30% off works for everything. So, like your net, you're going to go buy your net, go get a fish pond net. I promise you, the bags on them are awesome. The nets are indestructible. They're light. They come in like different camo patterns and stuff like that. I wish they came in bright orange.
Yeah, because we definitely leave them places.
I got river camo, and it sits on the rocks, and it's camo. It literally can't see it. So anyways, that's how it is. We got a 40% discount code coming up right after we get this Lefty's Deceiver tied up, and then we're going to go into our wins. Favorite part of the night.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Sean isn't sticking around for the 40% off.
I must not want anything that bad.
We have a world full of softies as everybody's leaving early.
Oh, don't worry, Cam. You just never have to see my parents. Okay. Well, I'm going to ditch this mic and get on over to the other one. Okay. So what we got going on here is our version of the Lefty's Deceiver. And it's not like it's just our version. We're just trying different materials. So hopefully you've had that kettle running and the steam is flowing, because you're going to need that material to take a little better form for you. So let's go ahead and open up our package here.
All right. We want to officially welcome Kenneth to the TNL fam.
Kenneth.
He's got his kit, and he's new at the start, round of clicks, and that's super awesome.
Amazing. That is incredible. Okay, Lefty's Deceiver. Let's pull out. You're going to have a bag with your hooks in it. You're going to have a bag of materials. So let's get those hooks out first so we can obviously have a hook to tie our fly on. And then we'll get over and I'll show you the materials we'll be working with today. There's actually not very many. We basically have that synthetic fiber, which we have in 2 colors. We've got some crystal flash in pearl color. We got some crystal flash in red. As you can see, we'll be doing our gills with that. And then we have a couple of saddle feathers, and that's about it. So not a ton of materials in this fly. Well, we do have some mylar flash that we're going to use as ribbing. Pretty simple to tie, to be honest, but a great streamer pattern. And don't forget that this isn't just for the saltwater fishing. This is an amazing trout pattern as well. I might not tie it in chartreuse and white for trout, but yeah, all around, super good pattern. So I'm going to show you first the synthetic material so you can see what I'm talking about. So when it comes out of your kit, it looks a little like this. Okay, so it's a little curled up because we had to wrap it together. It's got some curl in it. Okay, so all we did was put that under some steam, literally on a kettle, and it straightened it out for us. So if you're having issues with yours, that's all you need to do to get it up and going. Just take a second to kind of separate your material, get your material where you want it. It's the first thing I always like to do to make sure that I kind of know where everything is, and I'm ready to rock and roll with the fly pattern. Crystal flash is going to go in pretty quick, so I like to get that one kind of out and exposed. Let's go ahead and get our hook and our vise. We'll start with that.
Can I tie in the crooked materials and steam it after? Yes. It's just that they just look funny when you tie them in, but it's all the same.
Yeah, just from an appearance side of things, it's not going to look super awesome until you steam it.
Yeah, it's an awesome bass fly. So originally, Lefty Kreh designed it for striped bass on the what's it called? It's in the Chesapeake. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna.
I got Panther in the house.
I see you got Panther there. I'm just gonna take some thread wraps back, and then back forward. So I went all the way back to the bend of the hook, and then I'm just gonna bring it back forward to about the hook point here, like so. The first thing we're gonna tie in is gonna be our saddle hackle. Again, this is also in the kit and kind of has a little curve to it. That's okay. It might look a little funny when we tie it in, but in the water, it's gonna swim just fine. Okay, so I've got one saddle. I'm gonna tie in on the near side and then one on the opposite side. We wanna tie this in, that's basically the tail wants to be 2 full hook shanks in length out the back of the fly, tied in where we're tying it in at the hook point. Okay, so I'm gonna tie in this first one. Ooh, listen to that purring. Little motor. Little motor mouth over there.
That's an actual cat.
Yeah, that's an actual cat, believe it or not. Then I'm going to grab another one. I'm going to tie it in on the far side of the fly towards you guys. But important here is that I match up the tips so they're similar in length. And then I'm going to push that down against the hook shank. I'm going to get that one tied in there as well. Try to keep those out of the way. Like so. And now kind of what I like to do here is I'm just going to peel down this fluff off these stems. And it's kind of a way that you can create a little bit of a nicer tapered underbody. Is I'm just going to peel this stuff down. And then I'm just going to actually take some thread wraps back down the fly. Securing those stems to the hook shank. It's just going to give me a little bit of a nice underbody. Not going to take it all the way to the front and leave some space. I'll trim those out. Okay. It's very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I'm going to bring my thread back. I'm going to take a couple of wraps rearward now that I have them together. So they're each on their respective side. Like I said, they're kind of tipped up right now. That's just because of how they were in the package. They will straighten out in the water. Now I'm going to go over to my crystal flash. So you got a decent bundle of it there. I want you to grab yourself 2 long pieces. So grab 1, grab 2. So I got 2 long pieces. All I'm going to do is we don't want to overdo the flash. Less is more here, as I'm literally going to leave them nice and long. I'm just going to wrap them around my thread and bring them up on top of the fly. They got some memory in them too. Okay, once I got them up like that, I'm just going to take a couple of wraps to kind of secure them down. And now I just want to split them. So I want 2 on one side of the fly, 2 on the other. So I want to split them like so. And then take a couple of thread wraps over top. just to make sure they stay there. And then I'm going to pull them down with the feathers to trim them off at the appropriate length, which is going to be the same length as the feathers. Like so. And then I'm just going to use my hair clip to hold that stuff kind of back out of the way.
Any tips for straightening out feathers with a curve?
Fish them.
Fish them and they're straight.
Yeah.
Or steam.
You could steam them.
Steam, like hackle, they'll come back, especially on a little dry fly if it gets matted down. Some of the sample flies that come in the kits, they get matted down a little bit. And Ritzko showed it on our Facebook page the other day. He just steamed it and just.
Yep. Just it'll bring it right back to where it was before. It's a great reminder. But yeah, any feathers, especially with our packaging, guys, it's never gonna be perfect because we're trying to get so many materials in kind of a confined space and whatnot. So that will happen. Okay, so we got our crystal flash in. Now we're gonna go over to our piece of mylar. So mylar, kind of a fancy flash stuff. So on one side it's gold, other side it's silver. We want to tie it in with the gold facing us so that when we go to make the first wrap, it flips over to the silver side. So I'm just going to tie it in just in front of those feathers. Like so. Make sure that's tied down. And I'm just going to lay some thread wraps forward again. And I'm going to work this mylar all the way forward. I'm leaving myself just a little bit of space in front of the eye because that's where we're going to be tying in our next materials. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Set that aside. And now when I go to flip this over, like I said, it should flip over to the silver side. And I'm just going to nice touching wraps all the way forward. And now if I let go of this flash accidentally, all of this is just going to come unwound, which I did during the quick ties. So if you want to see that, go check that out tomorrow. But all I'm doing is basically touching wraps. I want to cover up the white. I'm not worried about this perfectly even underbody because it doesn't matter. We're going to have other materials kind of going around it. But what this is it's actually pretty genius how Lefty designed this. Is that this is like what we would call the midline line on a fly or on a fish or a bait fish. And if you spend very much time staring at bait fish, you'll notice that most of them have a really defined like flash mark in the middle of their profile. And so this will grab so much light. I can already see it here having light come on it. It flashes in your face, almost like a mirror. And so it gathers and shows light really, really well. So what I like to do to create some durability here, because if a fish were to bite this and like I said, do something where it released that tension on one end or the other, it would literally just all come unwound. So I just take a little bit of solarized bone dry. You know I love my resin. And I'm just gonna do a little touch of it on the top, a little touch underneath. I'm not trying to make this huge, like a surf candy. We'll do that later this season. Nothing like that where I'm putting a ton of resin on. It's basically just enough to cause that mylar to bind to itself. So I'll cure that down. You could use some Sally Hansen's or even super glue, but you just have to wait a little bit before you tie the other stuff on or it would all stick to it. That's why I love the UV resins, is you can obviously just cure them immediately. Okay, so now we're gonna head on over to that synthetic material. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my white stuff first. So you can see here mine's a lot more straight now that I've dealt with it. Get some of those out of there. I'm gonna take a clump of this that extends back into the tail. I don't want it to be super thick piece of it. Okay, we're not trying to create a ton of thickness on it, but I wanna have a piece that extends back into that tail slightly. I'm gonna go ahead and trim that piece off for myself. And don't really worry about the back end. It's all kind of frumpy, we'll say at the moment. We'll fix that. So just like we would do with bucktail, when I come up here to the head, I want to cut this off at a 45, okay? So it creates this little taper. So I'm going to lay my scissors down, I like to actually lay them right on the eye of the fly, kind of gives me my angle. And I trim my 45. Now I want the front of the tip of that 45 to extend just about to the eye, and I want the back portion to be where my thread grabs first. So I'm going to do a little clockwise spin, causing it to jump back towards my finger. It's going to grab that material. And I'm trying to keep this right up on top and a little bit to the sides. It can rotate to the sides as well. And just like that, I'll put a little pinch with my finger, rotating that so it gets just to the edges. And there's my top portion. So this I want to extend. The very end of it, I want it to only be about halfway down the feather. So I'm actually going to cut a taper into it. And how I'm going to cut that taper is I'm going to start my scissors a little further back. So I want to finish here. Okay, finish here, but I'm going to start a little farther in front of that and just start running my scissors and doing little cuts until I'm at the very bottom of it where I trim that. So I've got an angle to it. Okay, we're trying to create a bit of a taper. A little bit more there. Okay, so when we get that taper on it, it doesn't all just look like a straight cut line. It's kind of what we're trying to achieve. Now I'm going to spin it upside down. And I'm going to do that same thing again. With the white here, just going to grab another chunk, roughly the same size, going to be the same length.
Yeah, Sean said this is a great fly for trout. It is one of this and the clouser. Not
Even
the clouser.
better. Put them together, the half and half.
The half and half, yeah, that's what I meant. And it is one of the most universal patterns out there.
It really is. Just gonna repeat the process, guys. On this underside, I cut my 45. Whoa, there's a cat on the table. And he's on fire. Legit, we just set a cat on fire. He crawled up on the table right into my scented candle, and it smells like burnt hair everywhere in here right now.
I told you that.
You did say we were going to start a fire tonight. I didn't think it was going to be the cat. Wow, okay. He didn't even seem to react. How's his butt?
Well,
jeez. That was insane. I can't believe that happened. Oh my gosh.
I gave you your damn candle.
Yeah, I love that candle. The cat's not
Wait,
supposed to be
did
in
that
it.
get on camera?
Yeah, well,
That
the
had
cat was
to-
on camera
that-
for sure.
that
I
had
have to
to
watch
be.
this back. That stinks so bad. Oh man. Okay, guys. Well, there's no way to transition smoothly out of a cat starting on fire on the desk, so I guess we'll keep moving here. All I'm gonna do is cut that same taper. I'm gonna roughly try to get it to be very similar spot. Cut the taper on the bottom. Now I'm gonna flip this back up to the front. Now I'm okay if the top's a little bit lighter in material because I'm gonna put one more up on top of that guy. It's gonna be the other color. I'm gonna take just a little bit more of an angle here on this one. Same with this guy down here. It's a little longer than I want it to be. And now I'm gonna go over to the other color we have in there, which is the green. Okay, and now we're gonna grab just one chunk that's a little bit longer than what we had on those ones. Not crazy longer, but longer. And I'm going to tie this one in right on top as well. So this is our accent. This is giving us that change of color on the back of the fly. Same 45. Gonna come in here and try to keep this one right on top. We don't want it to move around too much. Just like that. That's gonna kind of blend in. And hopefully we can still see the midline of that fly coming through in that flash, which that's why we don't overdo the material, kind of that less is more here. And then I'm gonna cut that little bit of taper just past where the white taper was. We want this to extend just a little further. So we've got that taper like so. It stinks so bad, like burnt hair in here right now. I can't believe that we started the cat on fire. I'm gonna flip this upside down now. We're gonna put in the gills. Okay, so now you've got some red crystal flash in your kit as well. So go ahead and grab that. We want like probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 fires.
Have you read the comments?
No,
I've
I
been out
haven't.
there putting the cat out.
Yeah, he's literally been out there trying to put the cat out and get the smell out of here. Cannot believe we did that.
Well, there you go. The bearded nipple performing live opening act, cat on fire.
It's a great song name.
You never know what's
Oh,
gonna happen
man.
here.
This is where all good things are born, guys. It's not out of planned events. I can promise you that. The great nip slip of 2022 didn't start with an idea.
With a plan, you mean?
With a plan, that's for sure. Okay, so I've probably got like 8 or 9 short pieces of crystal flash in here. We're gonna tie it in long and we'll trim it up. So we want this to stay right on the bottom side of the fly. This is probably, some of it will show through your thread even, and that's okay, as long as it's on the underside. We're trying to kind of imitate that gill, or maybe a little bit of bleeding coming from the gill, the wounded bait fish. And then I'm gonna trim this off so that I like to go, like, if I was marking off that hook, the hook point with my scissor, okay, right there, I'm gonna bring it back forward about 1/3 of the overall distance of what I just had there and trim it. It's not exact science, it's just we need some red flash on the underside. So now that we're at this point, I'm just gonna take some thread wraps, I'm gonna build up a little bit of a head, I'm gonna cover up kind of everything that I did. And I'm creating myself a little bit of a head here because I'm gonna put some eyes on this, not your traditional eyes, not like a stick-on eye. I like that, I got a little decent head there. I'm gonna whip finish this guy.
You seem so unfazed that.
Well, I mean, I don't even know what to do. All of a sudden, the cat was there, and then there was smoking up its side, and I forgot the candle.
It was flame.
Well, I saw a little flame.
was like, why do we have a candle burning on a table full of hair? I wish you guys could see this disaster
this tying desk
that Tim's candle is.
It's but you can't mess with my candle. Anyone who comes here knows this. Don't touch Tim's candle.
Oh.
It's got to burn. At least it's covering up the scent right now.
The candle is?
It's trying real hard.
This cat is on fire.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go back to my bone dry. I really firmly believe in this portion of this fly. If you add a little bit of UV resin to the head of this and back onto the edge of the materials, it allows nothing to slip, creates a ton of durability. Literally no downside that I can imagine to doing it. Versus just having the thread. And if you've got any kind of fibers or anything that are sticking out the front, like I notice I do at the moment, that's okay. You can trim it out, go in there, burn it out, whatever you want to do.
Burn? We can't even, normally you smell when that thing's on, but not anymore.
Not right now. There we go. And then you can take a black marker and just dot an eye on there. I'm going to use this guy here. This is some solar res as well. This just happens to be this UV Cure color resin, so this is in black. So I'm gonna take my bodkin and just take a little dab of it, and I'm gonna make a couple of eyes on here, if I can. Just gonna take a little dab of it.
A little dab will do ya.
Yeah, I'm gonna cure that one real quick so it doesn't run away on me. Of course, that one's dead. There we go.
I charged them both up.
Oh, that one's dead. And I'll flip it over, do the other one. Perfecto. Dang it, I picked up the same one. My resin's running on me.
I literally just charged both of them.
That one's out. There we go. We bring that back around. There you got a little eye. Probably only important for our aesthetics and not the fish, but
no, the
still
fish
do it.
specifically choose.
They specifically choose and ask for it. I like to pull my fly out of the vise at this point, and this is the best time to kind of get a good look at your proportions. Did you trim where you wanted to? I'm actually okay with this one. It looks pretty good. Sometimes I got to go back and taper out my material a bit more, but if you pull it all back, you just want that top one to basically extend almost to the end of the feathers. The under one's gonna be a little shorter. Can still see my flash coming through the side of that midline. We got our gills on there. Definitely a little bit different material to work with, but think outside the box and what you got in your,
it's why I really wanted to try the synthetics this time, is because they got a little bit of a shimmer in them versus Bucktail's got a stiffer, more rigid approach to it.
Yeah, definitely does. That'll fish, boys. That'll fish.
That is great. Yep. That is.
And who knew, guys? We learned a lot tonight. Synthetics work. Cats burn.
Cats burn.
And they don't react apparently when they're on fire.
It's out there licking its wounds.
He did nothing. He just stood there.
Oh
man.
Yeah. Can we get a replay squad?
Yeah.
Like literally. We could replay this.
This cat is on fire.
This cat is on fire. Lots of synthetics are hydrophobic. That's a fact. That is definitely. It's kind of like what we got here. The big predator. Show the package.
Yeah. This chair.
Yeah.
This is predator fiber. This is one of those. It's one of these things that's exactly like that. I'll show you here a little better maybe.
Should have
But,
done SOS when the cat burned.
We should have. We didn't think of that. But yeah, a lot of these synthetics. But I mean, bucktail is for that reason. That's why it's used. It is hydrophobic. Literally, the water runs off of it. So,
Yeah.
Because if you were to build a fly like that out of marabou and you got to pick up wet marabou every time, it just doesn't work the same. So
Get some water off.
looks the best out of any material, but
Yeah, so the candle's still burning bright. The flies are tied. Ritzko, so kind of like recap the night. Switch your
okay.
mic.
So there's so much. I'm silent. Now I'm back. There's so much to recap.
I know.
20% off started the night.
20% off start of the night. It's a good thing you brought that up.
Yeah. Because it's still on until 11:30.
20% off any single guys. Share this, share this post, this video to your Facebook page, and then in the title say TNL Fly Tying Unlimited. Okay, don't have to say unlimited. That's not what I meant to say. Say TNL Fly Tying 20% off all fly tying materials, tools, and vices. Use this code at RockyMountainFlyShop.net. Think about it. Think about it.
Would you just take
That
a
is
sec? Take a
almost
second, think about it.
exactly what the quote-unquote pros get with most of the tools and stuff like. So you're basically a professional now. You're a pro deal person at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop for all of their fly tying materials, tools, and vices. And I don't know if that hopper dropper code is gone, but I'm assuming
Someone's probably snagged that. 30% off. Come on.
yeah. So it does. Trout said it cuts down on false casting when you're trying to get the water off of the material. Keith said, what is the synthetic material?
This one is what they would call predator fiber.
Yeah.
A lot of pike flies are commonly tied with it for that same reason, because they're often big and harder cast. So you're using that stuff.
Yeah, so just checking in. Hopper dropper's gone, folks. Just got the word from RMFS. And now what we're going to do is drop the code for 40% off discount.
No way.
If your carts aren't full, you know what? Probably the best thing to do. My hands smell like burnt cat. It's so
That's
gross.
all I can smell. Got him good. Well, that'll teach him to jump up on the tying desk.
Yeah, I've fought with him before on that. Like, where are you gonna land?
I don't know.
If you guys have seen Tim's tying desk, it's like the Didsbury landfill's cleaner than this thing and more organized.
Definitely more organized.
Oh, Ritzko gets the cover, like he gets the poster.
He gets the best. This is the best thing you've won.
I know.
Oh man.
Ritzko gets that signed by the bearded nipple.
Bearded nipple. Gonna stick that in his
So, you know what I would have done tonight, Tim? I would have filled up my cart. I wouldn't have pulled the trigger on the 20%.
No.
Nope. I would have waited.
Just to be ready.
And if I get the 40%, I hammer it in there. And if it doesn't work, I hit back to TNL Fly Tying and I get 20% off all my materials. And then I just buy the fish pond net at regular price because I basically robbed the store blind from where we're at.
All right. Well,
Yeah, so while it's ready, are we ready to drop?
I think Steve used the 30% off, I'm guessing, from his commenting. Did you steal it, Steve?
How many times?
He used one the other week, too.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. I hope you have
Why
all your
don't I
fishing
have
equipment.
a drum roll?
You do. Hi-hat works. Put on cha.
No, I need a drum roll. Nope, that's not the drum roll. That's definitely not the drum roll. Well, next time, folks, I'm going to get the drum roll going and a signed picture that smells like burnt puss kitty cat.
Smells like kitty cat.
Smells like teen spirit there, folks.
It is something.
And there it is. We're not froze.
Man.
The screen's not froze. There it is.
Thursday rollbacks. 40% off. Get on
Make sure
it.
you add the S. Thursday rollbacks. Last week it was rollback.
Oh, I see.
This week we've added an S.
Tricky.
So tricky. Colin's all tricky. Anyways, throw in that. See if you got yourself 40% off in Norvice. If not, just add the TNL Fly Tying code. You're going to get yourself 20% off. For all the good folks that are still here, we have failed the sponsors tonight.
But we can fix that.
We could just fix it. But you know what? We do so much. And Fish Pond got a whole presentation on
That's
there.
true.
And I
That's
have
true.
4 and Fly Fusion and all the magazines that they love to get you guys. The subscriptions are going. They got some trout flies they're giving out if you get a subscription. And Rec Base is located just west of Caroline. And remember, they're doing some staycations giveaways on the final episode. So, yeah, you're going to be like, wow, guess what I won? Like a couple nights out at Rec Base.
I'm buying tickets for that, just so you know.
I literally already bought tickets and it's not even available.
It's not even available.
Yeah.
I want to stay out there again. That was so fun.
Smell of burning rubber and hair bring back memories.
Yeah.
Well, I was beginning to wonder if Trout was thinking about the good old days of burnt Vaseline and rubber. Burning rubber. Burnt Vaseline.
Burnt Vaseline.
School project gone wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so there we go. Tacheniak didn't mean he got it. It just meant it's gone. But there it is. That's kind of how that works. Gotcha. And we got nothing else. The Wizard got beat by the Captain Clutch today because...
He didn't even get to come out and play.
What a show. We could recap for days, but the highlight of today...
Show it to me.
...was quite simply, I can't do replays.
That's okay.
The band photo is going up on Ritzko's wall beside the picture of his kids.
Frame it. It's beautiful.
Frame it.
Blow it up. Make a canvas.
I had the code in, and when it went through, it wasn't valid, which means somebody else got there before you, John.
Somebody got you, John.
But you're not going to get that 20% off code, probably, again, like that on a mass purchase. No. So, John, I would say, you know what? Pull the trigger on the 20% off the Norvice. And you will be cranking out worms like nobody's business.
Just bring them with you.
Yeah. And bring yourself, too, because I would love to see you again. And most importantly, Tim, what is the wins and what is this all about?
Yeah, this is
honestly... Why is this the best part of the show?
It is. It's the best part of the show. What is important now? That is what we're referring to. What has happened in your week that has been special, important, has made you smile? All these things count. If you woke up breathing, like I've said before, I do not believe you don't have a win, because if you're here and you're breathing, you're happy to be alive. So just find something that you can share. Drop it in the comments. Me and Dane will go through and share our wins. He's going to go first tonight because I'm talking right now, which is awesome.
That's not how it goes, Tim.
And then,
you burnt the cat.
The cat burned himself. And then you guys just drop them in the comments, and we're going to go through and we read them aloud, because it's important for us to hear your wins, for you guys to hear them as well, and just to share. It's part of the fellowship. It's encouraging. And, you know, sometimes our wins almost have a bit of a negative feel to them because we're going through stuff like, hey, you know, something's happened this week, but I've overcome it. Those are things we should all be rejoicing together in. So super important part of the show, and selfishly our favorite. So you're really not going to go first, are you?
No, why would I change things now?
Okay, well, I will start us off. My win this week is actually a pretty good one, pretty big one. His name might be Dana Lattery.
What?
Yeah, I know. You're my win, bro.
Wow.
For a few reasons. In my life right now, there's a ton of inconsistencies. There's things going on in my life. I'm not going to get to them right now.
And I'm always here telling you what to do.
He's always bossing me around. No, but it's what I've realized more than anything is when you have challenges in your life, when you face change, that scary word, all these things, having the consistent things in your life, like good friends, people to talk to, even though they might not have the answer, has been so unbelievably helpful. And some of you guys are in here too. But having Thursday Night Live, having this guy over here as my best bud, and being able to, well, we don't talk every day, probably most days.
No,
I know. I'm trying to play it down.
Trish, you watching?
But no, I'm super, super thankful for you, man. I love you, and I would never want to be anywhere else but here with you, and this crazy adventure we're on.
Yeah.
Hope it never ends.
Appreciate it. And as sausage fest as this is gonna sound. Yesterday was a good day. Mr. Cole and Mr. Troy, we did a climb together. It was kind of a sprint marathon. We had a lot of fun on the mountain together. It was a quick one. It was just really fun to get out. It was cold. It was beautiful. The mountains had a fresh coating of snow. But my real win was, and I had this plan before you jumped in there, was, me and Tim are just talking about the future of TNL. Sometimes, it's a lot of work, and you're just sitting here wondering, not why do you do it, but it's like, you get sometimes it's just a little beat down, and it's like, how do we grow the show? How do we get more cool people in here? Which oftentimes we are brought back and centered and remember, if only, like we said when we started the show, if one person shows up, we're winning because we get a chance to talk into one person's life. Yeah. So then my win of the week is Tim brought to me this quote, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it kind of really hit hard, and maybe some of you guys will resonate with it. We're going to get this thing printed, somehow put up in here. And the quote goes like this: God never gives you a dream that matches your budget. He's not checking your bank account. He's checking your faith. So I just think that was super powerful because of the opportunity that we have every single Thursday to come into your living rooms, your bathrooms, your storage shed, your wine cellar, wherever you guys turn the show on, kind of let us be a part of your life. It's not lost on us, and I never want to forget that that's a blessing, and I'm appreciative of you guys that you let us do this. And we just know that, like, you know, the show's it's gonna keep going forward, and good people are gonna jump in on the sponsorship side. Good people are gonna add to the TNL fam, and we're just super appreciative of you guys. Tim, thanks for keeping me in check with this. Thanks for showing up every single Thursday and just pouring into the people, into the show. And sometimes it's kind of like, you know, you wonder, you know, what's the bigger goal, but it's not something we need to worry about. We just gotta be grateful for each and every day that we're allowed to come into your space and hang out with you guys, because truly, as I've looked over the years of like all the people I get to climb mountains with, all from Thursday Night Live: Aaron, Kate, Chaz, Mike, Cole, Troy. Troy was a little before, but like everybody was part of the TNL fam, and I'm just super grateful for those new friendships in my life, and I hope to God I get to meet all of you one day. So there it is. Long-winded, but kind of short and sweet with that quote.
It's a gooder.
Now you guys, the ones that matter. You go ahead first.
All right, Mr. Cam. Win for the week. Oldest turned 20 today. She's on the other side of the planet at the moment in New Zealand, but so proud of her chasing her dream at school and her future as a vet nurse. Miss her like mad, but know she's working towards a bright future. Thanks for the night, folks.
Yeah, that's good, Cam. That is a great win, and thank you for sharing, Mr. Crap. My win is Taco Tuesday. We got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Jeff's Taco Tuesday with my hot date and my two awesome boys that are killing it in life.
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier and prouder. Thank you, TNL fam. Speaking of Taco Tuesday, next Thursday is Taco Night on the show, / kind of the Mexican theme. So do dress up. We've got some really cool things planned. We're going to try to cook some tacos and not kitty tacos in the studio. We're going to try to cook them with the jet oil, you know, make some tacos here. Maybe the cat will join us, and we'll have some fried pussy on a tortilla. Don't forget, next Thursday is Taco Night. We call it Taco Night, but it's like a Mexican theme night.
Yep. Siesta.
Taco Thursday.
Yeah. Mike, my win was listening to Tim and Dana while driving through Oklahoma on the way to camp at Beaver's Bend in my new micro camper. Cool not to miss an episode on TNL. Thanks, Mike, for tuning in anyways. That's awesome.
That's it.
Yeah. The desire for you to want to be here every week is what makes us so happy.
Keep it up. MF and Dewey. My win, I fished Abraham Lake last weekend and caught my first Laker. Nice. A pig of a fish with some beauty buddies, even if they do send your naked butt out on social media, Mr. Mel Ward.
Oh, Mel, he's so
That's
good
the only
for that.
time we heard him comment, Mel, when he saw Naked Dewey on there.
That's true. Oh, that was good.
Well, we know how Mel rolls.
Ken, he says, I run 10 kilometers several days a week. My win is strangers stop me to tell me they ran over a snake in my direct path and it wasn't happy. It was an eastern brown, which is one of the deadliest.
Wow,
Jeez, that's good to
we're
know.
just worried about grizzly bears and cougars out here.
Yeah, at least you know they're coming most of the
Hey,
time.
I just ran over a grizzly over there. He's going to come eat
He's
you.
a little pissed off.
I hate snakes.
I don't like them either.
Yeah.
Mr.
Mr. Cole, my win was climbing prairie with a couple bearded beauties. Such a great day and a much needed time out. I added that part. Love people, climb mountains. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Adrian, my win. I got caught up on the replay ties, had a decent couple days off. Wifey is back for a couple days. My daughter is just surprising us like crazy with her learning new words and things she can do. Work is a grind, but the crazy season is coming to an end. Getting excited for fishing season. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Beatty, my win is making progress on a project that has been hanging over my head for too long. I feel like I can finally see the end from where I am now.
That's a great feeling.
Speaking of projects, I'm talking about trying to make a promise to Tim that by our 100th episode, we will be in a new studio, which is literally just in the other part of the basement living room.
We'll get it done.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
And if you have any construction skills and want to come put in some time, let us know.
Andy, Mr. Hillbilly Taxidermy, Win had a crappy week at work, but tonight I went for a great steak dinner in Olds with my amazing family. It's the little things and you guys. Thanks for the relaxing, funny Thursday nights. What a great family this place is. OQPLPCF. It is a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. It's not the TNL group. It's not the TNL Bangarang. It's the TNL family.
Love it.
Mr. Fisher, Fly Fisher 54. When is Tim put it? Having a good friend who's always there if you need help or just someone to talk to. Love you, Jerry T. That's awesome.
Mr. Chaz had a job fair at Nate and got to meet some epic apprentices and makes me proud of my trade and excited for the future. I get to be a dad who matters to an epic young man and a husband to an epic lady. Yeah, buddy.
And I gotta go for dinner with Chaz.
Yeah,
Have you guys ever been to Pampa's Brazilian Steakhouse?
Have not yet.
Dude,
We need to do it.
Wow.
Right.
Like that, there's what a phenomenal place. And at Costco, they have a $100 gift card for $80. So like
20% off. Boom.
I know. It's something else, that place. Viva Poncha Milo. John, getting to spend another Thursday with you all. We appreciate you. I weirdly miss you. And we've only hung out once, but I feel like we're super connected.
That's fair. Terry, my win was an awesome sledding day today out in the South Ram country, west of Rocky. That's awesome, man.
Nice fresh drop of pow pow.
Yeah.
Trevor's win was walking away from hitting the ditch on my way home from work. Although my rear window was busted out from getting pulled out, it could have been much worse. Glad to be in one piece, and we're glad you're in one piece.
Hugely.
I saw a really bad accident today, or a couple days ago, driving home, and that was
scary. Mr. Cole, win this week was looking through photos and memories for my son's 30th birthday yesterday. Feeling my age a bit, but more than that, I'd like to be full of love and pride for the man he's become. Thankful and lucky for the love of family. Yeah, that's powerful.
Mr. Ritzko's win is bingo.
Bingo.
Having a Captain Clutch sticker.
Yeah.
And being a part of this big, crazy, fun group called the TNL Fam.
Eric, my win for the week, getting to spend some time with my oldest son celebrating his 26th birthday. So proud. He did his second tattoo. His teacher says he is doing a great job and works very hard trying to learn. That's awesome.
Well, I can't wait to see Eric's sleeve when he comes up.
Yeah, you better be tatted up.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Mr. Ken's win for the week is a new granddaughter. Round of clips for Eden, born Monday morning.
Awesome.
And she's probably watching the show tonight. So welcome to the TNL fam.
Yeah. Ryan, he said, sold the boat, which is a happy, sad win. But my new venture is coming together, and I got to sit down and chill with the TNL fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Cam, I love your jive tonight. No, we've had some good chats here. So yeah, we'll hang out here for a couple more minutes. We never go on time, which there is no time, and that's okay.
What time is on
and
time?
if you like hats, we have hats coming.
You don't even understand how big of a deal that is.
Yeah.
A few years in the making.
The mayor.
Our wins for the week. Bus is starting to get some work, but the bad news is we just got a booking for March 25th, but my loss is Charlie's gain. He gets our 4 tickets to IF4.
Wow.
Well,
There's like a town hall party and the mayor's not there.
I don't know if that's acceptable. Don't you have other drivers?
Barry, cancel.
Cancel.
Barry, I know you can break that bus down.
Well, that sucks. That sucks, buddy. I'd love to see you.
Well, it's good because
But you're getting work. That's good.
It's what you need. It's what you want. So, anyways, Craig, he's back here. My youngest is off on her own to Edmonton to swim in the Alberta Swim Championships. So very proud as a parent, but more as an individual who has raised her and her sister to be amazing people they are.
Yeah,
That's
it says a lot about you, man.
intentional dad who matters, as Chaz would say.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah. Not sure what happened to my camera. It just didn't want to love me. It didn't love me.
Didn't want to
There ain't
focus.
No love for me. You know what? What I'm excited for is to go watch the cat burn.
I know. This has got to be a good replay here of a cat on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it was right in front of the camera, too. I mean, I don't know how it could be missed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see.
It jumped right up onto that side, which had to block
It was
whole
on
camera.
fire. That I looked here, and it was cutting the camera in half, and it was already on fire.
Yeah. And I just looked, and I was like, what does he do? Where's he? He's on... This cat is on fire. And I was like, I went into like instinctual cat rescue mode.
Oh, I thought it was like very Jungle Kitten, like reflexes were just on point.
It's like reminded me of grade 9 when I dated a redheaded girl. It's on fire.
Where's the story going? No, we're good.
I know your parents are here.
I know they are. Sorry, Mom and Dad. They misbehaving. But what I do know is my mom is watching you.
Always.
Always. I got you, Mama.
I got you. All right, we got some more wins here. Mr. Satherwood said that the wind is almost being better from having a bad cold this week, just in time for the weekend.
Yeah.
To go off and
being sick
get a
sucks.
new one.
Yeah, no fun. The cat's win is it didn't vaporize.
Mr. Dickow will be at tracks at 9, free shuttle. Well,
oh man, this party's picking up. Deliveries and olds, I assume.
Yeah, no, on the 25th.
I know, that's what I mean.
Yeah, we would deliver anywhere.
I like that.
All right.
Free shuttle anyone. Heck yeah. Well, folks.
Free fly fishing day, April 22nd.
That's something you don't want to miss out. How can they sign up for this? Can
we
they do
don't
it
know.
yet?
We don't know yet.
Okay, well, we'll let you know when you know.
Boom. 100 episodes, Tim. We're turning the corner on 100 episodes.
It's actually hard to believe, to be honest.
You know what?
That's wild.
The mayor is going to be here because hopefully we're in that new studio and there's space.
Yeah, he needs.
If you guys knew how small this wasn't, I wish you could see because everybody thinks it's so big, right?
It's not huge. We're touching fingertips, and I'm touching the wall. He's touching the wall. Yeah, it's.
We're just touching the tips there.
But if it was in COVID, it was much larger. So
yeah, well,
6 feet at least. Yeah, huge.
So yeah, if you're ever in the area, stop on by to the studio. In the new studio, what want to do is take pictures, print them, sign them, stick them on a wall. 100 episodes. Jeez, these aren't like little podcasts where you just sit down and record them. Like the amount of work that goes into an episode, and to think that there's 100.
That's like 200 plus hours of live time.
Yeah,
like probably 300 to be honest.
Yeah, easily 300 hours of live, and I would say there's probably 50 hours for every 1 hour of live.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, we'll just dig them deeper, Trout. The bodies will go deeper. The deep freeze won't move.
No, it's steady.
Yeah, 100, and that is at the end of March.
Yeah, that's just.
That is.
Doesn't seem possible, but
And all the discount codes are gone. We can leave. We don't have to. I'm just trying to show you guys
Discount
that
code's
March 30th is 100 episodes.
We don't need him back, Jeff. Don't need him.
There we go.
Oh,
Michelle.
what's up, brother? Says my win is that I will be flying back to Brazil in a month for vacation. I'll be able to hug and kiss my mom and dad and my brother. Hopefully go on a fishing trip with some fellas over there.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's all about.
Dude. Fly safe, and I know how much it means for you to go see your family. Yeah.
Huh.
Not going anywhere, buddy.
No, we are. Cool. I was gonna say we would do this from our basement.
We're already doing that.
Yeah, 100. All right, so it's about the time of the day where I tell you to be somebody's reason to smile, love people, catch fish, or climb mountains. And Tim will remind you of what?
Have a little faith.
Have a little faith. Because remember, God never gives you dreams that match your budget. He is not checking your bank account. He's checking your faith.
Checking your faith.
Live big this week. And remember, time is not guaranteed, as we found out today. No. And yeah. That's about it. We'll see you guys next Thursday.
Next Thursday, what do we got going?
Sculptzilla Natural.
Nice. And Fat
Albert.
Albert. I love that fly. Gooders.
Fatty Albert. And probably a burning kitty. So,
yeah.
All right.
Okay, folks.
Much ado about nothing. That just sounded good. But we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Devil horns.
Devil horns. Do this. Little hearts. Love y'all.
Squares.
See you next week.
Yeah. Cool. Bye.
I can feel my body cold against the concrete, but I can't seem to get enough. My mind is fixed on what it wants. I just let you beat me. Looks can be deceiving. Let you get the best of me. In bed with my worst enemy. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me home. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me. So put your hand in mine. Follow me. Let me waste your time. Set up feet. Do some stupid shit. Take a seat. Let me waste your time. So put your acting like you're into me. I know this is hopeless, moving in slow motion, trying to control my thoughts, but I can't stop our body talk. This is a no-go, I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone, back up and get me home. This is a no-go, I just can't take